A small ship written up without a reflection of Chinese. Booyah! Give me some double soup. Give me some oil to drink. Give me some double soup. I'll be made it with after being impressed by the dark of night. I'll never forget how to walk you home on my pretty street. Hey, when you're in trouble like this, the resolution might be to go home and cause when you join the party, you feel as though some more words will go from the lady. When you're in trouble like this, the resolution might be to go home and cause when you join the party, you feel as though some more words will.
Hello. We're live.
Hello.
At least I think we're live.
Suspected.
There we go.
Assumed.
We're live.
Probable.
So, the project, as it's been a long time since me and Jens have just talked about random magic cards. We used to do this a lot, where usually it would happen after a stream. We would just talk about cards, and we would do that for a few hours. I thought, why not try doing that? And I thought we would start with Grizzly Bears.
That's good, because like the setup here was like, hey, Jens, do you want to stream a thing? And I'm like, yeah. That was the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
So like, what like the setup here is I'm looking at a grizzly bear.
Yeah, so my setup, I'm going to give... We haven't talked about what the stream is yet. There's no real reason I kept it a secret.
No, but it's funnier that way.
We're going to rank every Magic card ever printed against Grizzly Bears. So right now, Grizzly Bears is number 1.
Congratulations.
Grizzly Bears. What do you think about Grizzly Bears?
Well, okay. First thing I kind of want to look at on Grizzly Bears is if you zoom in on that bear.
We can engage zoom.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about with Grizzly Bears is the art of Grizzly Bears, which has 2 bears, as the name intends.
Yeah, there's
Bear
bears. Alpha. There's Bear Prime and Bear Derivative.
Yeah. We got that fish.
Yeah, he's got a salmon.
Yep. Coming on up. We just have like this really I don't know. I like that this is just a photo, like a photo of a bear.
Yeah,
Obviously, this is not a photo of a bear.
It's probably referenced from a photo of some variety. I really like the background bear. I think he's the best part of the bear. We got summoned bears.
Yep.
Now, when you think of Grizzly Bears, is this the art you think of?
No.
Because I have to admit, I had this Grizzly Bears growing up, but it's not the one I remember. I always think of 7th edition Bears.
I'm thinking of that one as well. So just to talk about 7th edition, the gimmick of 7th edition was every card's getting new art.
Yeah, every card has new art, and any of those cards could have a black bordered foil printing. Because it was a part of the printing rules of the time is that reprint, the reprints could happen in core sets and they had to be white bordered as to not devalue the original. Yeah.
So this bear is the one I do think of as bear, even though Alpha Grizzly Bear was around for
a long time.
A long time, and it's a classic of if you think of 8 Bears, holy shit! 8 Bears, holy shit is the 7th edition forward bear.
Yeah.
Right, the Photoshop.
Oh yeah. That's this one.
That's that bear. And also, so there was a PTQ I played Battle of Wits in.
Ooh.
This is good. This is like we're starting. We're looking at Grizzly Bear, and I get to go this direction.
This is exactly what I was planning for, by the way. I exactly wanted this.
Yeah. But yeah, so there was a PTQ years back that I went and played Battle of Wits in. This was, oh God, when was this? Like, modern. It doesn't really matter, but part of playing Battle of Wits is you have a 250 card deck and a 15 card sideboard.
Yeah, you don't the only sideboard plan you have is against Mill. So
Yeah. And in the more modern variants of it, it's a wish board.
yeah, you just play Karn. And like,
Yeah, you play
like
you play
Mastermind Acquisition.
and the literal card named Wish.
Yeah, Wish.
Yeah, and Karn and yeah, but my plan was that I was playing main deck, one copy of Surgical Extraction and one copy of Cranial Extraction.
Yeah.
As like tutor targets for here's my way to beat like a combo deck sort of thing. Like I have these one-ofs that are in the 250 that I can use to hit certain combo decks. And my sideboard was 3 Cranial Extraction to fill out that playset, 3 Surgical Extraction to fill out that playset, 4 Extirpate, 4 Memoricide. These are all the same card. This is the same card 14 times is the point. But only 14 times.
Yeah, so you had to have a 15 side. You have to have 15, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so my 15th card was I believe a foil 10th edition Grizzly Bear.
Ah, the X.
Yeah, just like just some bear I had around, and I was like, you know what, I'm putting the Grizzly Bear in there, and that was a 15th card. So that's the reason this art is the one I think of.
That's something compared to the 7th edition foil, which is $20. Like I give it a random 7th edition foil will always just be like at least $20 no matter what it is.
Yeah.
One thing I like, one thing that's kind of sad about Grizzly Bears is like we're never going to see it again. Because like this kind of thing is the only thing that like referential printings like this like are only ever going to be where Grizzly Bears comes back. We are beyond Jumpstart Historic Edition. It might be the last printing of Grizzly Bears in like a set.
Yeah, that's Jumpstart 21, like, and that's like I'm sure that's a deck that's like bears, and it's like okay, we get to have
it's like
we put this in here as this looks like an arena only thing. If I'm
it does
just from the look of
it
this,
might be one of the free decks they gave to like one of the free decks you start with.
Yeah, or something like that, and that's just how they categorize them. Yeah, Grizzly Bear as a card. Like even across all 5 colors, we don't
get Grizzly Bears anymore, and we're never going to get Grizzly Bears again. We'll get more bears, but we won't get Grizzly Bears.
Yeah, the name being plural gives it a bit of a...
It has that in common with Llanowar Elves, who did come back, though. Yeah. Llanowar Elves more timeless than Grizzly Bears.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll look at the big board again. Right now, Grizzly Bears is at number 1. Where would you put Grizzly Bears out of this list?
So, like... Well, it gets to live at number 1, and that's great for Grizzly Bears.
It's number 1. Would you put it at number 1, or would you put it at number 1?
I'm feeling number 1. I'm feeling number 1's pretty good for it. I think that it compares pretty dang favorably to nothing.
Yeah, Grizzly Bears compares favorably to Grizzly Bears. It's good in the bear mirror.
Oh, Grizzly Bears also has a couple arts that don't get used a lot.
Yeah, the portal arts.
Yeah.
Or here's the...
I was saying, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Here's the portal art, but it's Grizzly Bears, but it's only one bear.
It's coming at you with the claws.
But I do remember having this Grizzly Bears, because I had a bunch of old cards. I might have had an alpha somewhere, but who knows. But that's Grizzly Bears.
All right.
Let's compare it against something. We're going to do it this way. So Glacial Fortress.
Okay.
How does Glacial Fortress compare against Grizzly Bears?
So, Grizzly Bears as a card is a card with a lot of history. It's even though its last like legitimate printing is 10th edition. It like its last legitimate printing is 10th edition, and we still call 2-mana 2/2s bears.
We still call them
Maybe
bears.
this is the handoff, because we go from 10th edition to M10, and Glacial Fortress is
Glacial
also
Fortress.
I'm gonna say because in this cycle, this is the one I think of.
Yeah,
If
this
I'm
one.
think-
I
if I'm
think of this cycle. The what are these buddy lands?
Yeah, not M10 duels.
M10 duels. I feel like these were big game when it came to duels of their era. We live in a period now where there's just a bunch of typed duels, like they're just everywhere.
But even in a period with typed duels, these benefit from existing in a world with typed duels. If you get to play these next to a surveil land, if you were in that world, you wouldn't feel bad about it.
You wouldn't feel these are still powerful lands. Yeah. For a very long time, this was like the go-to land in blue-white control decks.
Yeah, that's why it's specifically so this is a full cycle. There are 10 of these after.
If I search for this should give me like
like you know the
ones.
It gave you some. It gave you Clifftop Retreat, which is like getting there.
There we go.
Yeah.
At least here's half of them.
Oh, where we lost Drowned Catacomb.
Lost Drowned Catacombs. Well,
goodbye.
This text has appeared more often, but here this one was in Innistrad.
Yeah.
This one also saw a lot of play.
But I think of Glacial Fortress specifically when I think of these 10. So yeah, maybe a bit of a passing of a torch from Grizzly Bear.
Yeah, pretty good. Very powerful lands. I think that this also represented like a shift in like the power of duels. Because like before this, you had shocks that would come in and out. But like before this, there was what? So there were the triomes, the pre-triomes in Alara, which were tapped.
Yeah, because like if we talk about the kind of like when this is, we're in M10, which isn't actually. M10 and 10th edition are funny to me because they're very easy to.
They're very easy to mix up.
Mix up because it's one is referring to number of sets and one is referring to
the year it was kind of printed in.
The year after they decided to do the like car thing.
Yeah, they did the car thing.
They called it out as like, well, the car.
You'll be playing these in 2010, so we're going to call it M10.
But our sets before this are like we're coming off of Alara block. Pre-Alara block means we have
the reveal lands like the from the tribal sets from Lorwyn.
Yes, from Lorwyn. You had maybe you had the filters.
Yeah, you had all the weird lands that were in Time Spiral block.
Yeah, you had filters from Shadowmoor Eventide, and you had shocks and Karus, which like were kind of more of a that shocks and Karus are like the first real like, hey, we can print fixing that isn't bad.
Yeah, because like I think Pains were like up there too. I don't know if Pain lands were around at this time though.
Well,
like,
they were in standard usually because like they they did have like core set Pains. Like if you pull.
I'm gonna look up Caves of Koilos and see. That's just the
Yeah, if
first
you
one.
look
I
at
thought, like 10th edition.
10th edition Caves of Koilos, 9th edition Caves of Koilos, etc.
Well, there was like a gap between here though, where it wasn't in core sets.
There's a point where like Painlands have a little bit of a nubbin for newer players where it's like life. I don't want to.
Yeah, life is a resource, and you got to learn. But it's there's a recalcitrance to it.
Yes.
Whereas Glacial Fortress, all it cares is that you're playing the colors that you are.
Yeah, and so for this era of these M numbered core sets for that era, this was like what you had, along with more modern fixing that came along with this. I think this would be like contemporary with Scars, like the 2010 to 2013 period, more specifically.
And I feel like these are liked lands also because of that environment that they were in, because that was a pretty high power standard environment. Like the Scars into like World Wake, or like that block, like that string of sets that was like Scars, Innistrad, like around that period. There was just like a ton of really powerful cards, and it was probably and like obviously there was Cobblade, which did Cobblade play Glacial Fortress?
Yes, that would be from the era of Gideon and Jace plus Squadron Hawk plus swords plus Glacial Fortress.
Does that give Glacial Fortress a demerit? The fact that one of its premier starting premier powerful decks was Cobblade.
Like it next to, because again, it like in Cobblade, this is next to the other duels in there are Seachrome Coast, as I mentioned, Scars, and Celestial Colonnade.
Celestial Colonnade, another evil card. So I don't think Glacial Fortress is evil, but Celestial Colonnade certainly is. Okay, so how do we feel about Glacial Fortress versus Grizzly Bears? It's certainly more powerful than Grizzly Bears and always has been. Like the moment Glacial Fortress was printed, it was pound for pound more powerful than Grizzly Bears. But is it better than Grizzly Bears?
Yeah, that's... So I think it's going to come down to like what nebulous criterion do I feel like defines the higher on this?
Because it's all arbitrary.
So the arbitrary bit I'm going with at this very moment, which who knows when it could happen, it could change, could be the next card, is like it's a combination of like its longevity and like effect on the world in like a, because like if we compare by power, I'm very sorry, Grizzly Bears.
Yeah, I think this
might be
rare
losing a
is
lot of
better than
matchups.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
The way I think of it is, in my brain, Glacial Fortress is #1 right now, but in my heart, Grizzly Bears is #1. All right, are you feeling similarly?
I'm thinking I agree with that, and I think the first half is still my winner there, in the sense that what Shabadoo says is that they're very close to platonic ideals of cards, and I think what it is that I would give this to Glacial Fortress. I don't know if I would give this to Dragon Skull Summit.
How about Rootbound Crag? We'll get there eventually if we keep doing this. But okay, so
I think I would give this to Glacial Fortress because it is like the idea of it being the platonic ideal of what it is true on both, but Glacial Fortress
is better for that. It's also just a better card. It's a card you could still play and not be embarrassed. It's been kind of obviated because these kind of control decks, like, they want to fetch into Surveil, and they might be playing a Triome for a Leyline Binding. So I think Glacial Fortress has been kind of squeezed out.
You can see where this lives nowadays in that its last, like, printing, like, its last like standards set printing is
Ixalan.
Ixalan, and it gets a lot of nods as fun alt arts in Commander products.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, we get like our we have a Fallout one, we have a Doctor Who one, we have a Tales of Middle Earth,
and an excellent.
And yeah, the one we landed on.
Yeah, the excellent Secret Lair drop one. I thought Glacial Fortress might still be played in Pioneer. I mean, who the hell is paying attention to Pioneer right now? Because they dropped the bomb keg, like they dropped the powder keg on Modern, so everybody's just frothing at the mouth for it right now.
We dropped the powder keg on Modern, and then we put like Pioneer Masters on MTGA, and it's like, oh boy, Modern. Yeah.
Hey, so as of this second, Glacial Fortress is the best Magic card ever printed, and Grizzly Bears at a close second.
Yeah, Grizzly Bears gets a silver medal there. That's
silver
still
medal.
Very good.
Silver
you
medal.
know what? 2-2. That's maybe more fitting for the 2-2 for 2.
Okay, next up is here's a card I have fond memories of.
Ooh.
This is M15. Oh, and it got a printing in March of the Machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a standard legal card.
A standard legal card that was pretty good when it came out.
Yeah, this lives in March of the Machine, singular, because of us putting, like, we put Convoke in blue-red in that set as like a thing for that set to be doing.
Yeah.
Whereas in M25 in M25 in M15, it's more of like, hey, Convoke is a little more anybody can do this. It's cool.
Yeah, like if we look at M15 Convoke cards, around this time is when they were playing around with stuff like that, because we also had different, like we had black cards that had Noble Hierarch ability.
Yeah, we had Exalted running into black, but you can see in here we actually have across all colors and even
with one blue card.
Yeah, even in blue. Like the idea was that like we, green white is where Convoke lives because
Celestia is where
it's Celestia. Though, funnily enough, Convoke started as Boros' keyword.
Better keyword than Boros ended up with.
Well, yeah, but it's very fitting, especially for Celestia, for the token generation stuff. And this, stoke the flame. So like, okay, we can put Convoke in other colors, but like, it's only going to be as strong as like how many creatures you're making out of it. And red is pretty good at that.
What was the Chandra of the? Okay, it was Chandra Pyromancer. I was trying to think of when. I remember playing Stoke with Little Chandra, but I think that might have been on an Arena Cube.
Yeah,
that's the one that makes tokens, and you can flashback cheap spells with, but you could use the tokens to convoke the Stoke, which is kind of what Stoke does. Stoke also came off the heels of something that happens recurringly in Magic's history, is the drought of playable burn spells.
Yeah, we are in we're in Theros.
Like the shock. I think we were in the realm of shock still.
We had Lightning Strike was like, I remember because Lightning Strike is in Theros.
Yeah.
It has I remember an art of it, but it's like harder to find. The longer you go, it's like trying to find bird spells that go dome. There's actually, we have some more of them, especially with what Standard has right now. But I was happy to see this reprinted because I think Stoke is a really cool burn spell.
Four is a lot. That's 1/5 of your ability to live.
Yeah.
So just having a playset of these in your deck and then a way to do any more kind of damage is a way to get over the line. And the nice thing about Stoke having Convoke is you play your little crappy red creatures with haste. And the moment they play like a 3-mana 4/4 that you can no longer attack because you're playing against green, your little guys can help you cast your spell that can put you over the top. There's been better cards for this. I am a master of the wombo of Anax plus Ember Cleave. I did that perhaps
Yep.
hundreds of times. Stoke is not as good, but Stoke's a great card. This is a great card for a like uncommon cube or it has lots of interactions. It works well with your young pyromancer. It slices, it dices.
I don't think this currently sees standard play because of the speed and direction red decks live in standard right now, because standard red decks are like, you know, mana costs ending in 1.
Yeah.
You know, 2 with your slick shot, you know. So this is a little higher than what the red aggro.
Yeah, Stoke doesn't work as well in decks where you want your guys to be turning sideways all the time, because again, they can only help you at convoke the spell if they are untapped.
Yeah.
And we don't get vigilance in red, even though I remember.
I saw that third R.
I
saw that.
Turtle Warrior.
Warrior.
My favorite Dark Souls character. I feel like we have less to say about Stoke the Flames.
Yeah.
It's a simpler card. It's not the best at what it does. This is pretty plainly the third best card ever printed, you think?
Yeah, I think this is, we can give it the bronze. Congrats, Stoke the Flames.
Savor it while you can.
Yeah, don't know how long you'll keep it, but like, I respect this card a good amount.
Yeah,
like,
this is a card that you will not be embarrassed to play in most situations.
Yeah, sometimes you get it for free, and free spells are sweet.
That's why it's theoretically, there's probably some combo where you could do it in EDH with it, where you just want every convoke spell, like cast without spend. Like, there's probably some commander that's like, whenever you cast a spell without spending mana, like do a thing.
Yeah, or like a. Is there, you know, if you're playing a deck that is young pyromancer plus third path, you know, like that deck.
Like there's tons of stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, to help you cast the Grizzly Bears.
You technically can pay for 2 of this card's mana with Grizzly Bears and Glacial Fortress. I hope you have a Rootbound, Craig. Let's.
All right, what's next on?
Rush of Ice. A BFZ card.
Ooh, okay.
You know what, Stoke? I was too harsh. Maybe although this is one of the good BFZ limited cards.
So I played a good amount of BFC limited.
I did too.
It's bad. It's a very bad limited format.
This card is one of the reasons why.
For a couple reasons. One of the bigger ones is green. What green is trying to do in the set is like, green wants to be 5-color, and it's impossible to pull it off because it doesn't have the fixing to do this, and its payoffs aren't worth it compared to like.
They invented a worse sunburst for it to.
But so what I would do in Battle for Zendikar draft is I would just force the Awaken deck, because what this card does, Awaken is a kicker.
It's one of the many kickers in life.
Yeah, you kick it, and if you do, one of your lands gets X counters, becomes a creature with haste.
So really,
this
is a 5 mana spell if you don't mind your guy being tapped. If you want to attack with the 3/3, this is a 6 mana spell.
Awaken.
You just awaken the land, and you get a 3/3 that can beat down.
One of the silliest things about this deck is that Awaken and any of these, for one, Battle for Zendikar has 2 exact same cards like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
You want to pull up Clutch of Currents?
Yeah, Clutch of Currents is the other one. And there was a blue-white one that was...
Royal.
Royal... I was like, this is going to get us a lot of it, but what was it? Royal Spout. Yeah, you could pretty easily assemble like 12 of these things if you were just in blue.
Yeah. Yeah,
And they're all
but-
basically the same card.
Yeah, they're all answer a creature in some way. But the other thing that makes them just wild as cards
Haste.
is haste.
Blue haste.
You know the thing that blue is known for. It's haste.
You used to have a blocker, and I used to have no attackers. Now I have a haste attacker, and you have no blocker. Yeah, Part the Water Veil is the one with Time Walk. Man, what a wretched set, because Shabu has already brought up Eldrazi Sky Spawner, one of the... People talk about how bad Modern was in this recent 6-month block of time because they didn't ban the One Ring or anything out of Energy in the summer, and were sticking to their guns about scheduled bans rather than doing any E-bans. So we just had the Ring versus Energy for the last 8 months. But I remember there was a worse time, and it involved this stupid card being in Modern.
Yeah, where your deck got to contain 8 copies of Ancient Tomb.
It didn't even matter how bad your payoffs were; you were just playing. And they
did. That is part of the thing. Undersoul is that even if it doesn't say, the reason it says haste is to bug fix if you target the wrong land. If you've ever done that with Koth.
Yeah,
Koth doesn't give haste.
Koth doesn't give haste, so you can untap a land and suddenly it has Summoning Sickness and you can't tap it anymore.
You can't even attack with your 4/4. But like just the design of the mechanic means that like blue-white gets a billion haste creatures is the way that your format works.
Yeah, blue-white gets haste, and green is trying to splash but doesn't have the support for it. There was some okay red decks, but the main thing I remember is that your burn spell was a 2-mana shock.
Yeah.
It was not a great time, but we played it. I was mean to stoke the flames, but the vibes on Rush of Ice are just rancid.
I drafted this card like a dozen times. It's the 4th best card in Magic the Gathering.
Bad vibes. Bad vibes, BMC.
I do have a very fond memory of the Time Walk.
Yeah.
One of these because
Kaz
smoked me with it.
Yeah.
We were at a side event in a Grand Prix. And Kaz just like, it's like, all right, I'm like on like 12. I empty board, can't lose. It's just like
this
part awaken. It's
yeah,
like,
this card does a reasonable Imracul impression for 9 mana.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next?
All right, what's up?
Standard card. This is a very powerful card.
Ooh,
and we got the ugly art for it. So I'm gonna go to the more legible.
Yeah, let's go to the actual Little Shop of Horrors. Here. Oh God, we watched this movie like within the last year or so, and it's good.
It's a very good movie.
It's still very good.
Who is that actor? We love him. Rick Moranis.
Rick.
We're in the Rick Moranis fan club here. But
Yeah.
Omnivorous Flytrap. This is you can tell this is a new card because look at that. That text box is double stuffed.
That's one ability. This is on come in or attack. If you've got Delirium, 2 counters. If you have Super Delirium,
yeah. If you have Canadian Threshold,
double. Yeah, if you've got 6 card types, then this card just goes off into the sun, becomes unbeatable. Was very strong in the limited format. Delirium, this is actually, so Duskmourn, with this being the Little Shop of Horrors, little buddies, this was like our more modern horror set.
Mm-hmm.
And it pulls it off sometimes.
It pulls it up sometimes. There's a lot of cool things in Duskmourn. There's a lot of ugly art in Duskmourn. So it like the what is it? Benzalok? I'm not spelling that correctly. If I look for what is it? It's not Awaken. It's not Foretell. What is the fake cast where you can play them as enchantments for cheap?
The impending.
Impending. Some of these guys have great art. Pending Disasters are great. Yeah. Overlord of Bale Merc.
Oh,
this card rules, but and also really good art on it. But I'm just Fly Trap is okay.
Yeah, this one I still think like as a one-off, like here's a funny little Seymour, you feed me Seymour, Audrey 2 sort of thing. Especially like the little buddies. I like having the little buddies on the art.
Those are the tokens. Those are like old-fashioned sapperlings.
The thing I like on this card is just kind of talking about the format.
Mm-hmm.
Delirium, the first time around in Shadows over Innistrad, you had to work so goddamn hard or control Vessel of Nascency.
Yeah, this was
to
the
have
card.
Delirium. Like Vessel of Nascency gave you Delirium in one card. Otherwise, you had to like break your back to do it. Like it was.
There were some like bad scarecrow creatures that you played just because they were artifacts.
Whereas Duskmourn, being in our more modern day, Duskmourn contains enchantment creatures and artifact creatures.
Yep. So basically you need creatures. What's the monkey?
Yes. Well, this thing's like such a card. So this is supposed to be Fair Tarmogoyf.
Fair Tarmogoyf. It's not. It's hard to say.
I mean, I can see the thought because we're looking at card that likes card types engraved and is just big green, right?
Nowadays, Tarmogoyf is Fair Tarmogoyf, not Necrogoyf. What's the little Goyf? Goyf. Nether Goyf, yeah. Nowadays this is good Tarmogoyf, and Tarmogoyf is fair Tarmogoyf. Although Omnivorous Flytrap also pretty good Goyf impression. A trick it does in Modern with it had like a Gruul Delirium deck is this card is going to have to like you have to every card that can have red mana spent on it in the future like has to be thought of in another light because of this card. Surprise haste.
Arena of Glory is one of the I think for a while even after this card was printed in Modern Horizons 3, but like on Spoiled it was like ugh. Like what is this? It doesn't do anything. It gives you haste, but
it gives haste.
Haste, yeah.
Like you want this thing is a lot more huge when you play it off Arena of Glory. It triggers. You put 2 counters on it. Then you attack. It triggers again, and you put like 6 counters on it.
Yeah, because if you play this and you have Super Delirium, the 6 types, it comes in, gives itself 4 counters because it gives it 2 in doubles. So it's a 6/8. Then it attacks, it gives itself 2 counters, and then doubles to 12 counters and attacks for 14.
Yeah, and there are certain ways to do this on turn 3. The big winner of Modern Horizons 3. I think the best card.
Malevolent.
Yeah, Rumble. Malevolent Rumble.
The Crumble. The Crumble.
Malevolent Rumble, probably the coolest card for Modern Horizons 3. Means you can pretty easily get Super Delirium on turn 3, and then attack for 12 with your Omnivorous Flytrap.
The best fossil version of this haste granting effect closest ever was Hall of the Bandit Lord.
Yeah.
That's not even close. Yeah, like
the only way to be better is good old fashioned anger. And there's a reason why Wonder is in Modern, but anger isn't.
Yeah, this was in Modern Horizons 3 in EDH decks, but not
Yeah, Modern Horizons 3 Commander, but whereas Wonder I think was Moho 2?
2? Yeah, I think this was 2.
Yeah, Moho 2.
But yeah,
also using Wonder with your Flytrap with haste also pretty good. That's pretty good integral impression.
This triggers on attack and ETB, both.
Yeah, so if you haste it, it gets both.
As of Bloomburrow, they shortened enters the battlefield to the word
Enters. Yeah, this is our first.
Um,
It's our first enter of that.
Yeah, and like that was used on sagas before this because saga reminder text doesn't have room for the full of it.
Mhm.
But it's shorthanding. It's one of those like shorthanding so that we can fit a little bit more on here. You can see with this text box in particular, if this said enters the battlefield, we would have to go down a font size again.
Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, we're already got M dashes. We got italic text, which is already ability words are not rules. Whenever you see an ability word, it has to define itself afterwards, so it's just shorthand. We already have that on the card.
This one defines it and then goes to super delirium.
And it goes to super delirium. So what do we think of Omnivorous Flytrap?
So I think we're dancing around Stoke the Flames on this card, right? Like that's where we're clearly.
See, I don't know.
I think like when I say that, I mean I think the vibes on Flytrap are better than Rush of Ice.
Oh, they're definitely. This card is absolutely above Stoke the Flames.
Okay, you're thinking about dancing around Grizzly Bear or dancing around Glacial Fortress.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. Like, the vibes on the card are good. The card has too much text, which is bad. It's Seymour, which is good. The art is okay, but it has bad art. That was like the chase art for this. Yeah, I'm still listening to this.
Yeah, we're still here. One thing with it having like more modern text, having lots of text, at the very least, this is just like it has one ability.
It has one ability, which is pretty good.
Like, yes, it has some variation on targets and what it does, but it at least is like just one ability. For the little buddies alone, I want to put this like.
Yeah, this is definitely at least number 3. Do we put this above Grizzly Bears, or do we just put it between, like, put it below Grizzly Bears?
I'm willing to put it above Grizzly Bears, below Glacial Fortress.
Okay, because that seems fair to me. Because I'm like tempted to put it at number 1, but I also know that also my choice of formatting here means paste special, not format only. I want the opposite of that. Paste special, values only. There we go.
Yeah. Oh yes, for the.
And now I have to give myself the tiny task of spelling omnivorous right, even though it is on my screen. All right, so right now, Omnivorous Flytrap is the second best card ever printed, just narrowly beating out Grizzly Bears.
Grizzly Bear. Yeah, I think that the like. It's almost more recency bias that makes me not want to give this number 1.
Yeah, that's fair. Because of recent cards, this is not the best card ever printed. So
this is right, but this is still like the fact that this is like a quarter is kind of wild because this feels like a card that I look at and I'm really excited to see because it's like, oh, this is a fun thing you build around and you get a deck that works.
You get a deck that works, and it's a plant, so you can put a counter on it with your Avenger of Zendikar.
There you go, Landfall.
But no, this isn't the best card ever printed. That would be Doomscar. I'm going to say right now, Doomscar is not going to rank very highly. There's a lot of things going on with Doomscar that give it demerit points. First and foremost, I would say, is that it is a 5-mana Wrath. Thank God we are out of the era of 5-mana Wraths. We were in there. It was like from Fumigate until just recently. We had the 5-mana Wrath.
Like we would get tinges, little snippets, a taste of a 4-mana Wrath that had a downside that gave your opponent a card or some crap.
Yeah, if they controlled a power of 4 or greater creature, they got to draw a card. Yeah, this is also a 3-mana Wrath, which does make it sort of better than... Like, I think this is worse than Fumigate, because Fumigate was a real come-from-behind card. When I think of 5-mana Wraths, I think of Fumigate rather than Hallowed Burial, because Hallowed Burial is special. but
yeah. Hallowed Burial is the one I think of as like the powerful ones, but like Fumigate or heck, what was the cons one?
All I can think of is Doom, is Stoon Blast. So I am not the right.
No, because there was one.
Creature.
There was one next to End Hostilities.
In hostilities, on all permanents attached to those, the most useless rider text of all time.
Again, that's what you got with these 5-mana wraths was the rider text that was.
At least Cleansing Nova is like has a great secondary mode. Like that card's still good, but
yeah.
Oh,
Starfall Invocation. Welcome back.
Welcome back. What was that? Annihilation Giant or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess there is an ancient history to 5-mana wraths with stupid rider texts on them.
My favorite style of 5-mana wrath is the one that like you can try and make into a little bit more of an advantage. Again, like Winds of Wrath destroys non-enchanted creatures,
so
right?
If you have
so
enchanted creatures, you'll be doing better.
And like sometimes that blasts you in the face too.
Have you ever kicked a route before?
I have kicked route before. This is a card that wins you the game on cast most of the time because it's like end step wrath and end step wrath or combat wrath.
Yeah, combat wrath, just like bam.
But Doomscar is a 3-mana wrath, but when it is a 3-mana wrath, it has to be a 3-mana wrath because like time has caught up and like your opponent has assembled lethal on turn 3 and like this is what you need to answer like that quick of a.
The foretell is pretty good on this specifically because the fake miracles the fake miracles package they had in Kaldheim where like in the old miracles you had Terminus plus Entreat the Angels.
Entreat.
And then in Kaldheim you had your shell game of is that a Doomscar they've foretold or is it a Starnhelm Unleashed? And you were playing both usually.
The Time Walk was also
that was Elrune's Awakening. I think it's that. I probably spelled it wrong. Whatever.
I think there's no H in that.
I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, Elrune's Epiphany. This was like one of the most miserable cards ever printed in its time.
Yeah,
I hated this card so much.
This is one of those cards that got Alchemy changed to do the thing I thought the paper card did. If you click on Elrune's Epiphany on the right.
Yeah. If it was foretold, create 2 birds. Nope.
Yeah.
You just get the birds even when you don't foretell it.
Yeah.
The Emergent Ultimatum decks. Yes, it was like Elrune's Epiphany, Liliana, and Vorinclex. And I was like, well, do I Liliana ult or do I kill you with birds? But Doomscar and all of that, just a 5-mana wrath. This card is. I'm gonna give this card a demerit because I feel like this card could have centered text.
Agreed. Even on like. Especially on this printing.
Or
because like this printing of it absolutely should have.
Where is here we go.
Because so if you're gonna have like one line, like especially on an alt printing of a card, like it should come on.
And I feel like these 2 lines, like that's the reason it's not centered. But I just center them. Just center them. We can tell. We can read. We're having this promo art version of Doomscar that doesn't have the reminder text to foretell, or it should be centered. So, the vibes on Doomscar also has bad vibes because Kaldheim had like a pretty decent limited environment, but then also broke multiple formats.
Had some weird effects on a lot of odd formats. We have the combination of like Tybalt's Trickery and Faceless Haven is another one that comes to mind as far as like.
Oh yeah, Faceless Haven.
I
played this card a lot.
Yeah. Again, Tybalt's Trickery and Faceless Haven both have like best of one power bits, where specifically this with the Dumb Angel book.
Yeah, with the book of I guess the book of any whatever, I forget what it's
Book
called.
of
Exalted Deeds.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I had this book.
Yeah.
It's a source book for I think it wasn't 3.5. I think it was just D&D 3.
Oh, like at 80. No, not 80.
Not 80. There was a brief period where there was just 3, and then
I can't imagine 3. Right, like D&D, AD&D, 3.5.
3.5,
right?
but then you go to 4, and then D&D Next. Everybody calls it 5th edition, but
yeah.
This was there was 3.0 was a very brief period of time, and then it was with a little bit of crowbarring, it would work forward. I disagree. The 3 was better, but we can just. But Doomscar. How are we feeling on Doomscar in the ranking? It's above Rush of Ice, I think.
Yeah. I think I'll like Stoke the Flames more.
I believe so as well. So Doomscar can be the 5th best Dukescar.
Dukescar. I'm a Dukescar.
But what of Count Dukescar?
Oh, Dukescar. Like
Doomscar gets to be the best card ever printed. Okay. I will give the Ace that 3 was better than 3.5 because it had fewer source books printed for it. So this 5th best card, but here's the best card ever printed. This Urza's Incubator.
Urza's Incubator. Modern Horizons 3. Welcome to modern.
Welcome to. Here's the list has the old goofy art with the Metathrone in it, whereas they give him like cool art now. But let's go back to Urza's Destiny.
Let's go to the Pete Venters Metathrone here.
Look at that beautiful flavor text.
This Urza's never.
Hold on, Metathrone. I have to go buy some cigarettes.
Urza will be back with milk, I'm sure. The art here, like this art here with Urza here, this isn't exactly the piece I would choose to be like, this is like Urza's block, like looking thing, but the feel of this is so Urza's block.
It does feel very Urza's. Was Urza like blonde in a lot of these? I usually remember Urza being depicted as with white hair, but he's straight up, maybe he's blonde in this one.
He decided to die for a little while there. He's been around for forever.
He wanted to look young for his children, the Metathrone.
Start thinking like a father. Also, Metathrone, a type you can't call with this. Wait, no, can you?
You can.
Did we errata Metathrone to be a real type?
Now
we have to think of a card that is.
I remember one. It's a blue card with regenerates. And I'm pretty sure it's a Metathrone. I mean, I could just search for Metathrone. I put regenerate on it, so it's the type line. This will not be a long list.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna be like 4 cards, right? No,
okay, Metathrone zombie, but this was from Invasion, and it was only creature type zombie at the time, so I don't think you could name Metathrone with it.
Right. Like I specifically, I was thinking of these Metathrone cards, and I was like, I know they're not Metathrone, but I thought maybe they had that was like, I thought they got the Metathrone type finally. These are our wow, we have 8 of these total.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Metathrones, and one of them is living airship. The ship is what regenerates. It's fine. But I remember this card. This card always struck me when I was young. Like I definitely used this as a bookmark. I used to do that with cards I liked that weren't worth anything. I would just use them as bookmarks. But Urza's Incubator.
Urza's Incubator. You're not naming Metathrone with this.
You're not naming Metathrone. I don't know what you name, because when I think about this card, I don't think this card has ever had any use for anyone outside of Commander, but even then there are better options.
This is 2 is pretty big. I think the reason this is in, because this was in some Commander products for a while. Like you can see it's in an anthology. It also like has a real price even with its printing in Modern Horizons 3,
$10.
which tells me
It's got Commander when something has when an old card that isn't very powerful has $10, that means it's in a Commander deck.
I think what this is, the thing with this card is that cost reduction for 2 is big enough that like that's like
Semblance Anvil and
Semblance Anvil.
What's the other one?
Semblance Anvil gives it to you for minus a card.
Yeah, minus a card.
Yeah, you go to. So like getting this is like getting a soul ring for everything. It's big.
But what's the best name for this though? Because I was thinking
there's two. There's one that's in here for the set it was in. So this is in Modern Horizons 3. Eldrazi. Name Eldrazi.
Yeah.
You know? Like give it an Eldrazi. You're looking at the combo potential of it, where you can do some rude level stuff with it. And if we're on like classics of like casual good stuff, name Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon. Playing this is like a Warren Power Stone makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Creatures you control get -1/-1 creature spells.
Heartless Summoning.
Heartless Summoning. That's another one that has.
I remember this one because this was spoiled today as there's a few cards in the Innistrad reprint set that are not from that are this one is from Innistrad. I'm thinking of Blood Funnel is the one that's not from.
Blood Funnel's from Ravnica.
But there were a few cards that were shown off that were in the Innistrad, both not from Innistrad, like Mass Hysteria, but also with new art, and like the new art of Heartless Summoning is like is another like if I can find that one, but yeah, Hermit Druid is one that they showed off in there as well. But -2 is a lot.
-2 is a lot.
Urza's Incubator also not is symmetrical.
Right. This is an old card, so it's symmetrical. It's old enough to be symmetrical, but not old enough to be a continuous artifact.
Yes, because we're still in like these are still going to be symmetrical for a little while past here, but we're past that artifacting because we're in
although the most famous of all just has that text for no reason. This was far after continuous artifacts existed, and it just has the texts that remind you that it's a continuous artifact.
In fact, we did this as a joke on like a handful of Mirrodin artifacts. If you look at the is untapped, as long as is untapped.
We'll probably
and type artifact probably.
There,
But so Blink Moth Urn,
Genesis Chamber, Howling Mine.
Genesis Chamber has it. God.
Yeah, baby.
This was an early standard deck I played. Thunderstaff.
Where's Thunderstaff? Probably down here where the Thunderstaff. I didn't recognize
that's not the art. That's not the art you're thinking of. Yeah, you're thinking of that's the art. So in Mirrodin block, they did a number of these as a like callback to
old stuff. Like here's now. Wait.
This. But this one is printed with it.
Yeah,
because
it's printed with it, but it's from. They remembered what this continuous artifact was, and hers is to me.
Yeah.
This card's pretty cool, by the way.
This is the like weird. You get one on tap, or you get a type.
Mm-hmm. It's like a weird Tangle Wire. You just want to play the most annoying deck of all time. But also, it doesn't make any sense with its a storage matrix only lets you untap one kind of thing. I don't know. Urza's Incubator.
Yeah, if I look at so I've got Urza's Incubator on EDH Rec is probably a good place to also see what people are doing with it, because it's angels, it's Eldrazi, it's dragons, it's dinosaurs. It's the big.
It's the big expensive guys.
Yeah.
Top commanders, the Ur Dragon, Giada. Well, Giada, I must think there might be a combo for that. Like there might be.
Yeah.
With no, I almost said it. It can't be with what is that angel? 4 mana 3/4 comes into play. Flicker a non-angel. Restoration Angel. It does not. It wouldn't work with Restoration Angel.
Can't be Resto Angel. But you can see here, like
this
there are enough. Well, and like also like Edgar Markov and Sidar Jabari, the Eminence ones, like, you know, because your deck is going to be whoever's doing it first. Sliver's lying.
Yeah, because Sliver, not a lot of colorless.
Well, no. I just mean that if you're playing the first Sliver, you're not playing a Sliver deck. You're playing a combo deck that's trying to look like a Sliver deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Urza's Incubator.
How are we feeling on Urza's Incubator on the list? It's definitely above Doomscar.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better than Stoke the Flames?
The Flame?
Like, manifestly, it isn't. But it's probably more reasonable to think more Urza's Incubators have been cast than Stoke the Flames. Like, more people have more different, like more singular times and more specific people. Like, more people have cast Urza's Incubator than have cast Stoke the Flames.
I'm gonna say better than Stoke the Flames.
Yeah, it's absolutely not as good as Grizzly Bears, but
no, I can't give it there. One of the things I think that makes it, I said this with Omnivorous Flytrap, but like a card that you like open and look at, and like if you were to open a pack and you opened Urza's Incubator, you open whatever card we're talking about,
it makes you think about it.
If you both think about it and then want to like play with it, and it works, like, yeah, this is actually, not only is it like something that like gives you an idea of like, oh, I could play a deck that's like all one creature type and to be really powerful. There are powerful ways to use Urza's Incubator, like, you know, Mirror.
Yeah, naming Mirror for like Mirror Retriever loops.
Yeah.
So yeah, Urza's Incubator, 4th best card ever printed.
You know what? Right down the middle.
Right down the middle. Well, for now. But the best card ever printed is absolutely Slaughter Pact. Okay, here's a cool one.
Ooh, we might be.
Here's can you see the difference between the new printings of Slaughter Pact and the old one? They invented a piece of technology, the color indicating pip. So it doesn't have to say Slaughter Pact is black.
I was thinking about this set of cards recently. Last week I was playing a Slay the Spire mod that had like past, present, future cards.
Yeah, the anime girl.
And so past was suspend 1, present is normal, and future was 0, and it put a card in your discard that was whatever the cost was that like got stuck in your hand as like, so if you had if you played a 3 yeah, so you'd have to pay
status,
it was like
a
slime.
Yeah, like a slime.
But like it was very much like, yes, I definitely intend to pay this in the future, says the wizard, not like burning more from the future, absolutely never going to pay for it. However,
I feel
of all the packs, this is not that. This is the one you paid for.
Yeah, Slaughter Pact is probably the most paid for pact. And I'm going to say the least paid for pact is it's probably by plurality Pact of Negation, but by percentage. Ooh, I was going to say by percentage. I think the fewest percentages of Pact of the Titans have been paid for relative to the amount cast. Like, I'm willing to say like 90% of Pact of the Titans have not been paid for.
Yeah, the reason I think Summoner's Pact is because Summoner's Pact, if you're casting Summoner's Pact, let me tell you what turn the game is ending on.
Yeah, the game ends now. You're pacting for Titan, and you're about to go off, or
Yeah,
whatever
and if
other stupid creature combo you're doing.
Yeah, and it also does work as a hive mind pact.
Yeah,
which
is what Pact of the Titan got mentioned.
Which is the next, yeah.
The thing that makes Pact of the Titan is the one you want is because it doesn't give your opponents any new cards, and also it doesn't require a target. Pact of Negation and Slaughter Pact both require targets.
Yep.
And Intervention Pact doesn't do exactly what you want.
Intervention Pact, like, I'm sorry, but that one doesn't get cast.
Like, it used to get.
For one, it's low enough cost that, like, if you tried to use this to kill your opponent, they might just pay for it. You know, if you were trying to do that with it, so it's not great at that.
I have to remember. Lose life. Okay.
Lose life.
Yeah, I didn't remember because I know it was. I'm thinking of Angel's Grace.
Angel's Grace. Angel's Grace is what
the other very nearly similar card from the same time period that you would use with ad nauseum to draw your deck.
Yeah, this isn't me throwing shade at Intervention Pact as much as it is like, as we may have been showing. When you have an order list, there's a number 1 and a number 5.
Yeah, there has to be.
Right?
We're not allowing ties.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Tie Tuesday, if you're here. Slaughter Pact. Slaughter Pact's definitely the most fair and the most paid for of the packs.
This is the most. Yeah, this is the most like you are playing it for the effect, not the.
Like you're willing to pay the piper's price for this one. It makes me think this is maybe like perhaps the most cubable of the packs. Like you would never put Pact of the Titan in a cube, and Pact of Negation kind of lives or dies on if you have degenerate combo decks as something you want to support.
Right. Like, usually the decks that are using Pact of Negation are trying to kill you and using that as a protection that will never be paid for.
Like, they're like casting... it's decks that open a turn by casting a Veil of Summer are going to then pact the force that their Veil of Summer eats.
This is this card is funny. More cards should be funny. It's true, like... This card also does lead to, like, the worlds where, like, you Slaughter Pact and then, like, I don't know, your Elves of Deep Shadow gets killed and you're like, uh-oh.
It's like, we've definitely killed people before by making them unable to pay for their Summoner's Packs before. I remember an old clip that was like, we killed or bounced a Keru? And like they no longer had 4 mana to pay for their Summoner's Packs, so they just lost.
Goodbye.
Yeah, and Slaughter Pact also, every Modern Horizon set has had its pitch cards, like the fake ones.
Yes, we've had.
What is it called? Force of Despair.
Force of.
I think Force of Despair is not as good as Slaughter Pact, whereas Pact of Negation is almost always better than Pact of Negation.
I wonder if there's a way to force your opponent to use one of your cards. So that's what when we were talking about. So we've been looking at Slaughter Pact, but we've been talking about Pact of the Titan and like others.
Yeah.
Where like with Hive Mind, this card from. Wow, this is literally was only ever printed in M10.
Yeah, it had a completely deranged secret layer drop. What are you talking about?
Okay, you know what? This is a card that should have a completely deranged, absolutely, yes, 100%. Hive Mind here, whenever a player casts it into sorcery, everybody casts it. And so there were decks that went, all right, Hive Mind, Pact of the Titan, your upkeep comes first.
Yeah, your upkeep comes first. Hope you have 5 mana and a red.
Yeah. This was not only this was like real enough to be a deck. Like you had to know that this was real. Like this is something that like you kind of had to like understand that somebody could could sit down against you and do this in a tournament, and it wasn't like unknown. It wasn't like, I'm not gonna call it tier 1, but I'm gonna call it like, oh damn, you gotta know that's real. Like,
It's also an annoying thing to do in EDH because very frequently a lot of your opponents will not be able to pay red, because if they would produce a red mana, they instead produce a colorless, and will have no red sources in their deck. If you want to make friends, just bring your Hive Mind text deck to your local F&M and play Commander, and you'll definitely make friends.
But yeah, Slaughter Pact. So the use case for a lot of the other pacts is like for evil.
Yeah, for evil. Slaughter Pact fights for good.
Slaughter Pact fights for good.
It fights for good. Slaughter Pact fights for good.
I kind of hope that statement goes without needing elaboration, because I know what I mean when I say it.
I think it explains itself.
Yeah, I think it explains itself.
Yeah.
Slaughter Pact fights for good. Pact of the Titan fights for evil. That doesn't make Pact of the Titan bad. It just makes it fighting for evil.
It just makes it. I'm willing to call Pact of the Titan kind of bad. But
okay. How about Summoner's Pact?
Summoner's
right?
Pact is absolutely fighting for evil. This card has never been used for fair reasons.
But I wouldn't call this one bad.
This card's extremely powerful. This card's like a top card in several formats mostly because
Prime.
Because this guy gets to live for some reason.
Abandoned Commander, get out of here.
Yeah, Abandoned Commander. You'll just have to. What's the other thing that Amulet Titan uses? It's like a 7 mana, like 0/0 or star that you play lands forever, and whenever you play a land, draw a card. That stupid thing. Anyways, Slaughter Pact. What do we think of Slaughter Pact? Honestly, the vibes on Slaughter Pact are great. I want to put this pretty high. It might be numero uno for me.
I was gonna say, for me, this is dancing around Glacial Fortress, and I think I'm good putting it at number 1 here. I think that's fine.
I think we know in our hearts that Slaughter Pact fights for good.
Yeah. Like this is a card that
Cultivator Colossus. Kaz has my back.
Yeah. This is a card that, like, you can, as a one of, like, just, hey, I'm going to include Slaughter Pact. You're gonna feel good with.
You're gonna feel smart.
Nobody's gonna, because, like, at some point you're gonna be tapped out and they think you've got nothing, and they're wrong.
It's like they equip Sword of the Blood Chief to their Basking Brood Scale. Like, I'm so smart, they're tapped out. I'm going to win the game. No. I'm from the heart of hell, I stab at thee.
That's what this is. And sometimes you don't pay that. Sometimes you kill the blocker and just...
Yeah, sometimes you just open up blockers. Slaughter Pact is the best card ever printed, except for Wall of Mulch.
Mulch is the fabric of life.
Mulch is the fabric of life in the forest. Plants live in it, they die in it, and then they become part of it. That reminds me of a line from ancient BBC comedy The Young Ones, where Neil the hippie says, "We eat the seed, then we grow the seed, and the seed grows, then we die, and the seed..." He goes on and on about it, and he's because he is a thinly veiled marijuana addict, he goes on forever because he confuses himself. Any other Young Ones fans in the chat? Am I the only old person? Anyone else watch the Young Ones reruns in the 90s on the BBC?
The 80s
Schaffner's
sitcom.
got my back. Schaffner's got my back.
You're not alone.
I don't have much to say about Wall of Mulch.
This is like...
Okay, this card's a little better than I gave it first. Sacrifice a wall. I thought it said sacrifice Wall of Mulch, draw a card.
No, this isn't like trying to be the inverse
Wall of Blossoms.
Wall of Blossoms.
What is it called?
But...
Atreides? What is the... There's like a walls dragon.
The Elder Dragon that has...
Yeah.
Our
Yeah,
Arcades.
Like this is like
You
a
think-
card to go in your Arcades EDH deck. That's probably the best thing Wall of Mulch is doing.
Yeah, I'm. This doesn't have bad vibes. It just doesn't have vibes. It doesn't,
Yeah, his card is
this does-
his card's very plain. It does what it's kind of expensive. It blocks. It's got some cool.
I'm stunned. It
art.
has a reprint,
Yeah,
like a non-list one, right?
Yeah.
Like this is
a modern legal card for your Arcades deck.
yeah. If you want to include mulch,
If you want to include well, not mulch. Mulch is a better card than this.
if you want to, yeah, that's
We
true.
have much more to say about all the mulch. We can talk about Onslaught, I guess, but
Is the art different on the?
Nope, it's the same. It's just the saturation is different on.
Oh,
the
the
scan,
saturation.
it looks
Okay.
Like this one
Yeah,
looks
'cause
more
this
greeble,
one's more yeah.
like more texture to it. It might just be like the print quality.
This one might be like a foil getting a. Yeah.
Well, it's the same crinkled one on the list. You can only
Yeah.
tell it's the list because it's got the Planeswalker symbol on it. The portcullis vines, yeah. Wall mulch.
All mulch. I
Is
don't know.
it better than Doomscar? It's about where I'm putting it. Like these cards have bad vibes. This card has no vibes, so I think that like categorically puts us at number 7.
I think I would say that. Yeah. That this one's pretty easy to put in a list because like, you know, I like the vibes of Stoke the Flames. I'm not, you know, don't like the Rush of Ice. I'm a little bit more neutral on Doomscar, but I still think it's below.
Yes.
So Wall of Mulch being at just if
It's,
this is our neutral,
this is our
yeah,
neutral.
okay.
LPH of 7. It's neutral.
Yeah, yep. That, you know what? That means it fits.
That means it fits. Okay, the Ball of Mulch was not the best card ever printed. That would be Nevermaker.
Never Maker. Oh my god.
I feel like this card is almost entirely outclassed by Aether Snipe. It says non-land permanent instead of creature.
Yeah, the power on Nevermaker is a little bit more the fact that it has 2 power.
Yeah.
And especially it's in Morning Tide. It's right there.
It's for Revel Arc.
Even then, it's not.
The art's
This
cool.
is-
Great art on
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, the elementals in Lorwyn are fantastic.
This guy did change
And also, ooh,
and food.
also, oh wow. Hold on. Can you go back up to that food token?
They're infinity fries.
Yeah. Okay. And like you get like a 7-layer burger.
You get 7-layer with that is as close to the Arby's hat as they could get away.
Yeah, they're curly. They're infinite curly fries.
Yeah, I'm thinking infinite fries. I guess we could talk about Nevermaker has a lot in common with Muldrifter being a 2-power flyer with Evoke.
Yeah. This God also no reprints, but like this is also this has better than neutral vibes, but not by too much.
This is a pretty fine
Yeah.
card. It's not the coolest Evoke guy because his Evoke cost is just his cost, whereas stuff like Aether Snipe,
Yeah, so
it's like pretty cheap to evoke, and like you can just cast a 6-mana guy. That's what Muldrifter was. These were the leave evokes.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Nevermaker is. I loved the Morning Tide evokes for being usually like you could play them and also get their effect later. Like so, this is a 2/3 flyer that has an on death, top of deck a card, which makes it like really annoying to deal with because if it trades in combat, it trades and bounces something. If they removal spell it.
I spelled Revel Arc the last time.
You got it. I was impressed.
Revel
I
Arc is
didn't
a
say
hard
it.
card to spell.
I didn't say it, but I was impressed that you got it. The reveal lark.
The reveal arc. With Revel Arc, they knew the evoke should be more than the
Yes.
cost. But
The
Nevermaker.
leaves. Yeah, the leaves play on these like makes them hard to answer because even exile, bounce, whatever, it will go off.
It still goes off. We just do this. We'll
Yeah.
go, like, Meadow Boone is another one I remember.
I remember Spite Bellows because I remember that from Neo Modern Masters.
Yeah, Spite Bellows and Neo Modern Master. There was a Vesperlark. It's a fake Revelark that we got.
Yeah.
Oval Snout.
Awful Snout. Awful Snout, this used to be a real played Graveyard Hate card because it would snipe a card and then break every bridge from below.
Yep, it would kill. You would like exile your opponent's Stinkweed Imp and then die, which is better than not Mech, very
Fair.
Mac,
Mac.
which was this was like
Return of
contemporary
the Mac.
Graveyard Hate that you could be playing over Awful Snout, but also a very weird card, but didn't kill bridge from below.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah.
Oh, and
Never-
this fucker.
You cast this jerk and it's like, well,
What are you gonna do now,
Okay.
asshole?
you want to kill it? Like, cool.
There's Nevermaker's fine. I feel like
Yeah.
is Nevermaker better than Stoker Urza's Incubator?
I think that's the area we're looking at, right? We're looking at like this card's fine. It's
It's like somewhere around here. It's definitely above Wall of Mulch. It's pretty similar to Stoke the Flames. I'll leave
Yeah.
it to you. Is it above or below Stoke the Flames? You make the call.
It's definitely below Incubator. I don't think this it gets
Yeah.
above that.
So we 6 or 7.
Let's put it at 7.
Let's put it
I
at
think
7.
I think it's close. Like the gap between Stoke and Nevermaker is much smaller than the gap between Nevermaker and Wall.
So this is Nevermaker. And we're going to very quickly. I forgot to more organically introduce this into the stream, but we're gonna go over and look at the schedule page for a second, because I forgot to mention that I have new channel point redemptions that I made, and I was wondering nobody had done them, and it's probably because they don't know about them.
They don't know they exist.
You can do channel point redemptions. We got some new ones. You can try them out. You might have enough points.
So naive.
You might have enough points for all of them. Thank you for it's. You spent 420 Ichor on your Dagoth. What does Ishin do? You could use it and find out. Also, it does explain. Somebody, or is it? I don't actually see who did it because the fucking window capture. It was Ogre. All right. Well, this is a good time because we're going to take a quick break from talking about magic cards to go fight Ishin the Sword Saint.
I can tell you, looking at my pile of channel points, that the number you have that at means that I can put us in hell for some time.
There's a limit. There's only 3 per stream.
Okay, there you go. That's good.
Because I knew people. I haven't had channel points. Did I forgot to put the limit back on it? Or is it 3 per person? Okay.
Well, there's 3 total.
Okay, we'll fight. We'll stock up 3 Ishins.
Yeah, I've used this. I've also like barely used channel point stuff, but I know that like I set this up for the like Dragon Quest 3 character select. And it should be 3 per stream, and then it's off.
Yeah, so we'll fight Ishin, and I guess I might fight Ishin 3 times.
It is not too late for my mercy.
All right, I'm gonna quick step away while Ishin's loading.
Yeah, we'll have our breaks. So the way this works is I have a save file where I have basically what you would have at the end of the game. I should probably also put a timer on. My frame rate's kind of bad. Let's find out. I'm I'm just gonna die. Turn the game settings down. That doesn't count as fighting Ishin, by the way. I need to... I don't have it written that I have to beat him. I just have it written that... I need to... turn graphics options on. Well, let's just quickly just do this. There we go. And it's still giving me framies.
Okay.
Let's see what the frame rate's like now. I don't know why, but game's giving me a slight bit of complaints. Ah, here we go.
192. Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I can't do that with this frame rate. So we'll be in a moment. Fix this. I've been doing tons of fighting Ishin, but I didn't do any pre-production on actually capturing it.
It's good to get it tested. I mean,
I'll just do this. That might break everything. Okay, that's better. During the game windowing thing I did, apparently goobered it. Okay.
Way to keep a tally of wins and losses against Ishin.
If I did that, I would get sad. I should also probably just do this.
Oh, this is fun. Doing it this way means you don't have to do the phase 0.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight. I'm fighting Ishin. I'm not fighting Genichiro.
Yeah.
A rare Ishin move.
That charge slice.
So we'll fight Ishin, we'll talk about a few cards, and then we'll fight Ishin again.
Yeah.
Because this takes a little over 5 minutes if I'm on my game.
Is fighting Ishin as a redeem just a fight takes place?
Yeah, no promises that I win, but I want to win because I love fighting Ishin.
Yeah, obviously.
Jump. There we go. That's the second Mortal Blade there is not completely safe, but you really want to get damage on Ishin too, because his stamina regenerates so quickly.
The moment you drop, because I think I don't know the exacts, but I think in my head it's like once you're under 50, the stamina regen stops being noticeable or like as huge. You know what I mean?
Can I jump from this? Yep.
That gets you in your Mortal Blade.
Okay, his bar is now yellow tinged, which means things are going to stick from now on.
Oh, that's the okay. Cool. It varies boss by boss. Okay. Yeah, the like specifics of that are not ones that stick in my mind. I just know it's like if once a boss has enough damage on them, it becomes sticky.
Oh, that move is very... Doing this is a exercise in learning which of his attacks you can interrupt and which ones you cannot.
Oh, okay.
I didn't whirlwind? Okay, Kiri? Yep. There we go.
Oh,
now Ishin
there
2,
you go. That's it. All right, now it's lightning.
which is the easiest Ishin, I find.
Well, like, getting to have the lightning counter is incredibly powerful. Because you get in damage and, you know.
He replaces his whirlwind with this most of the time. Maybe we'll see some more rare Ishins. Because Ishin's like, he usually makes the same decisions, but he has stuff he can pull out like 1/30th of the time.
Like, every once in a while you get, alright, and there's
Ishin.
There's Ishin.
Double hard mode. Most people don't know about these Ishins. Speaking of rare Ishins, one thing you might not know about, almost everyone after this will absolutely just finish him off because the camera makes you do it. You don't have to. And like his stamina bar is very slowly filling out.
Oh.
Or it's going down. I think he is permanently dead and just waiting for the cutscene to happen. But you know what?
We'll be back for more.
We'll be back for more Ishin later. We got 2 more Ishins in the hopper.
All right. 1-0 on Ishins.
Where 1-0 against Ishin didn't drop a bead. That's actually, I usually die at least once in Ishin 2. But that gives us a break against that gives us a break for magic cards. Well, this is one of the games you have to go back to the title menu and press A in order to quit. Now I gotta give you the wizard eyes back.
Yep.
We'll talk about a few cards and then fight Ishin again.
Sounds good.
So we decided that Nevermaker was the 7th best card ever made.
Okay.
What's the next one? Rada Erdekeld.
Rada original.
Original Rada. Slim Rada. They decided later that Rada would be fucking yoked.
How can you kill a god?
Like bulked up Rada we would have, but now we just have normal Rada.
Yeah,
Or like
Rada.
not this svelte Rada. She's very thin.
Yeah. But yeah, Rada, I think Rada's like setup is really cool where it's like, okay, you've got, you know, Mana Dork, 2/2 for 2. And like that's I don't know, that's not exciting. But if you're able to make use of the
red.
The double red on attack, that gets to feel really good.
On a Rada, yeah.
On a Rada.
There's probably some stuff. Yeah, there's lore. There's lots of lore about Rada. There's also lots of different kinds of support. She's an elf. She's a warrior. These are both
supported.
If you wanted at your time to make your sweet Lovisa Cold Eyes deck, you could. You could give your Rada haste. There's more. So obviously, there's more support now, but at the time, that's what you had.
Yeah, at the time you had Lovisa, and you had a little bit later you got
Bold Weir Intimidator. You can't. Cowards cannot block Rada.
And you get two red to make 2 cowards.
What was there? What was the axe that had warrior?
Obsidian
Equipment. Yeah, the Obsidian War Axe or something. Obsidian Battle Axe.
Battle Axe. I couldn't remember the adjective. I just do Obsidian Axe. I'm like, I'm not getting there.
Yeah, so Warrior was a type that would eventually get more support. At the time, it was basically just Lovisa. Cool card, though. This was like them toying with like what a Monodork could do. Like, what does a red-green Monodork do?
This was one of the first EDH decks I built.
It's a good one. She gets in. She's a cheap commander. which
Yeah,
not to be
like-
undervalued.
Right, like it meant that I always had a ramp piece available on turn 2 and later. But yeah, I like the on attack mana ad. I think that's like a neat place to get ramp because like you can only use it on tricks
Instant speed
or
effects or tricks or like your lightning, your incinerate. What would have been the contemporary burn spell of the era? Because like we were outside of
char.
It'd be char. Because like we were outside of the era of Flames of the Blood Hand or whatever it was called.
Yeah, we were in Ravnica Time Spiral or Time Spiral Lorwyn.
So it would be char. You could cast
Yeah,
your
or-
char.
Char. Yeah.
Do you know a
But no, good.
spell named Char Aznable?
Does 4 damage for some reason. That's interesting.
They did bulk her up a bit in the more boring reprint arts. This art's at least
That's-
nasty looking. She's very scrungled. I don't hate
Yeah, I
this.
would say that.
Like the framing on this is much better, and like the color balance on this is much better.
Yeah, I love the framing with the sun sort of like coloring. You know, there's this very orange like backing. I think that's really good.
This reminds me of that
Also, like
scene.
we have the head like that's off.
Yeah, the cut off head. Well, these two Rada arts remind me. There's a scene in some recent Steven Spielberg thing that's like autobiographical, and he has David Lynch act as John Ford, the director. And as David Lynch, he's pointing to 2 paintings. He says, "What do you see with that painting? The horizon is up there. What do you see with this painting? The horizon is down there. When the horizon is at the top or bottom, it's interesting. When the horizon is in the middle, it's boring. Now get the hell out of my office." That's literally this. The horizon is at the top. The horizon is at the bottom.
Interesting.
Whereas this is a Dutch angle, a different way to do it.
Yeah,
The horizon's
this-
kind of in the middle, but it's at an angle.
this is our battlefield earthing.
Oh yeah.
This is our we grab the head of our
Do you want lunch?
that guy, yes.
He's even got the.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we think of Rada Erdekeld? I think
Comparable to Grizzly Bear.
I think
right?
it's better than Grizzly Bear, but worse than Flytrap.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think like very specifically one of the things about Rada Erdekeld is a Grizzly Bear.
Is a Grizzly Bear, so yeah, it has to be better than a Grizzly Bear.
Yeah, pretty like, you know, I think that's the perfect spot.
Okay, I'm going to take a brief respite while you talk about the next best card ever made.
All right. So the next best card ever made here, Recruiter of the Guard. This is our. This one's funny because it's a like referential print in the sense that it's like Imperial Recruiter is our side print to this. Imperial Recruiter grabs 2 power less for 3. This grabs 2 toughness less. This is hanging out in Modern Horizons? I suppose. Yeah, okay. I hadn't thought about the fact that like it being a conspiracy card on its first printing meant, yeah, of course it's not actually like legal in that format flat. The flavor text on Recruiter here is like immediately makes me think of Bad Dudes is the first thought. Like, your king has been kidnapped. Are you a bad enough dude to have 2 or less toughness to go, you know, save the president? This one is It's kind of funky that this is our side set to Imperial Recruiter, because Imperial Recruiter grabs a 2 power less card, and what made Imperial Recruiter so wild and played for quite some time is that it's a very unique effect for red. A search is very hard to find in that color, but a 2 power or less search is something that you would expect on a white card.
Yeah.
But this one does 2 or less.
What's it called? Not inviting vampire. Welcoming vampire. This is a good stream if you want to watch me almost remember the names of cards.
I mean, that's the classic. So,
and then,
but yeah, mentor. There's a couple others that live in this space. The newest one is the inspire the glimmer.
oh yeah, the of hope or whatever. Glimmer, the thingy. The sheep.
Inspiring. Yeah, the one that's a 2/1 lifelinker that has welcoming vampires text on it, right? Like,
I guess search for glimmer.
Well, it's not in the name. It's in the type, card type. Because
it's a type. Oh, they added a type.
Yeah, it's a type.
Not glim. Glimmer.
Glim.
Type is glimmer. White. Go.
Thank you. Enduring Innocence.
The
God.
Sheep.
Yeah, the sheep.
This lamb is a 2/1. Wasn't there like a lamb that was like a 0/1?
I'm thinking of the Nyx Fleece Lamb, which is the 0/5.
Yeah, Nyx Fleece Ram. Yeah, 0/5.
Yeah. Now we're talking. Gatebreaker. But yeah, Recruiter of the Guard being a direct reference to Imperial Recruiter.
Yeah, because Imperial Recruiter. They did reprint Imperial Recruiter.
Yeah, it's in Modern Horizons 2.
Because not actually on the reserved list. Was not on because of is it an uncommon?
That is yes, that is an uncommon from Portal 3 Kingdoms.
I don't know if Portal is on the list of reserve list sets, but that would have barred it from being on the reserve list to begin with.
You can see the Imperial Recruiter was the power of Imperial Recruiter is the fact that like red doesn't do this.
Yeah, red doesn't
like
do it.
Absolutely red doesn't do this. This Recruiter of the Guard, like white does get this sort of thing.
Come on, I didn't spell ephemerate. Yeah, that's why. Ephemerate. Yeah, this stupid card.
How many times do you want?
I think I hate this card. It's really powerful, and I love cards that go with it, but I don't like ephemerate specifically. But Recruiter of the Guard, very good, referential. She's got an awful big weapon for a 1/1. She's being held up by a lot of people. That's why. As
I mentioned, the flavor text makes me think of bad dudes.
Are you a brave enough dude? Yeah, this is almost a plane shifted card. Yeah, they changed one more word on it.
Yeah,
they changed like 2. They changed the color pip and power to toughness.
Yeah. I don't know, there are white gets other searchers like this, which makes this a little less unique. Not for 2 toughness, but like I'm just thinking of like any of EOS.
Yeah, right, Ranger of EOS specifically.
Well, Knight Captain as well.
Yeah, but Ranger Captain is the new one, but this was the
yeah.
Whose invitational was this?
Antoine Rule.
Yeah. I can always count on Jins to remember that. I never do.
But yeah.
This guy's real. Because this text does a lot more than you would think because of how combo heavy various formats are. And you can do stuff like how many times do you want to orange chant your opponent? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Of course there's Unearth, but you know.
The actual card named Unearth making a resurgence.
Yep.
This is making some like real ass resurgences off of some incredibly powerful threes. Yes. Unearth the eyeball and
You discard the Oculus to your frog and then unearth it. That's what we call gaming.
mm-hmm.
So what would you feel about Recruiter of the Guard? First blush, it's definitely above Urza's Incubator, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely...
I don't know how above Urza's Incubator.
Yeah. Oh, we are still here. Yes,
We're still here.
Or Oculus is stolen from Darkest Dungeon 2. Isn't that like the second boss in that one?
It would be like the boss of the ocean area. Or Darkest Dungeon 2. I don't know about Darkest Dungeon 2. We would need Kaz to explain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm going off of what Kaz has told me about Darkest Dungeon 2 in my mind there, because I remember hearing about the eyeball boss. This is better than Grizzly Bear?
I mean, yes.
How much better than Grizzly Bear?
Is it better than Rada? I mean, yes, but...
I mean,
is
as
it
a card,
better?
Yes, but... Oh,
we could just put it there. We could put it at number 5.
I'm fine. I'm fine at 5.
I'm fine with 5. Rada is cooler than
My-
Recruiter of the Guard.
I think I would have Imperial Recruiter higher for, like, being the original. Because this is not the OG, it's not as...
We're old heads, so we gotta have the vintage.
Yeah.
You know what a really cool card in vintage is? It's
Yeah.
Titania's Boon.
This is an incredibly vintage card. Look at this centaur just crushing.
A double, giving him the Kirk.
Yeah, give him the Kirk, yeah! Ooh, this card's
Look how skinny his legs are.
Oh,
Oh my
centaur,
god! That centaur has skipped leg day.
How has a centaur skipped leg day? What the hell?
This is some Valmeric doing their oh, I'm forgetting my belts and pouches and Captain America illustration guy.
Nobody knows how to draw a horse.
Nobody knows how to draw a horse. They're hard to draw. Titania's Boon. We talk about how creatures have gotten way better with time, but a lot of old spells were stinkers too. What is a...
Oh, yeah.
I think the going rate for this is 2 mana.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking like... Yeah, like, can we get exact wording on that?
I gotta,
like, so you get it for... Yeah, put it in quotes, just... Because we get even here, like, so okay. Yeah, 2 mana.
I remember
exactly.
there being a freaking song. It's
Freylace.
This
Yeah,
is
it looks
Wild
like...
Onslaught, which is this but better. I don't think anybody ever... I think most people kicked this in this format, but...
If you did. But, yeah, Bowser's Solidarity. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature control.
Posri did care about that.
And like, a Johnny minus is this, you know?
Yeah.
But this is a sorcery.
This is a sorcery.
This
is a source, a 4 mana sorcery. It does add to the board. I think this is factually the worst card we've encountered so far. Does it just go at the bottom? Or is it better than Rush of Ice?
Like, Rush of Ice has the bad vibes that go with it, but I think this might be, like, below it, because...
You cast like, Rush of Ice... If you cast Rush of Ice, you at least feel something. I think you don't... I think...
I don't think you feel anything because you don't cast Titania's Boon.
You don't... Yeah, you never did. They were better... They were probably better... I don't know what creatures in Urza Saga exactly looked like.
So you pull up green in Urza Saga, like, green creatures in Urza Saga actually are... Yeah, it's not even like an iconically bad thing. It's just sort of extant.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying green creatures.
Yeah.
Green creatures in Urza Saga were pretty real. You want to cast something that's cool? Go cast Blanchwood Armor.
Yeah. Back in the fucking Blanchwood Armor. Even Argothian Swine was pretty good back in the day. Like, that game was pretty on rate. You got Earth Elemental, Bull Hippo. Oh, evil card spotted.
Carver for evil.
Oh man, fecundity. I love fecundity, but we're not talking about fecundity.
Yeah.
We're talking about.
But-
we were talking about just the worst card ever made, Titania's Boon. How long would that last?
Boon.
Here's the actual worst card ever made. It's Hijack.
That's right. It's hijack. Okay, this is one of our like threaten. One of the things that we've been doing for a while now. You can see this is a card from Kaladesh. Threaten exact text is something that we don't do exactly. We usually go threaten with very minor upside.
Yeah.
Sometimes that means upside makes it cost 4. Sometimes it means a little bit more red. And sometimes it means exact same cost, but you get a little boon here. The boon here is you pay double red and you get artifact as your theft.
Yeah.
Because this can steal the
How many
smaller shotgun.
how many ways are there to do this? Because this could be like there's a fair amount, but not that many. It's a fairly unique effect.
Yeah, stealing artifacts is something reserved for like DAC and some blue cards, right?
And there are certainly some artifacts you would want to steal.
steal this to draw 5.
And you don't even have to pay the you don't pay the burden cost.
Yeah, that's funny.
So Hijack is a pretty cool card. I feel like threatens are usually pretty good for limited formats. They're rarely good cards in and of themselves, but I feel like they add cool gameplay that you don't often see.
Yeah, because like threatens aren't a thing that like, in order for a threaten to be playable and constructed.
Oh, you have to be pretty high level to.
God, I was gonna say how good of a.
How close to Ray of Command do you have to be a playable and constructed?
Grab the reins.
Ooh. Grab the reins, maybe.
God, I love the art on Grab the Reins. This is.
He's got the reins. He's smirking.
Yeah. Wow. Almost no reprints, but like threatens are a thing that you get a lot in limited, and they tend to range from like 23rd to my deck has 4 sacrifice effects and help.
Isn't there one that's like gain control, creatures can't block or something, or is that too much of a blowout?
That sounds like way too much of a threaten. Can you like just search like threatens?
Yeah, let's start gain control target, and then this creature, and they're going to be in red. Let's look at let's do active aggression's pretty.
Oh, that one. Well, because that one's colorless and instant.
Mm-hmm. Then there's threaten.
So actual ass threaten from Onslaught. Well, the actual ass card name threaten,
What the
not
fuck
active
is this?
treason.
Unfinity. I forgot about Unfinity existing. Wait, this is one from what? Mom? No, for all will be one.
All will be one.
Poor Koss.
This is a blow up. Blow up equipment on it, I suppose.
Poor Blind with Anger. Non-legendary. It costs 1 more than Threaten because it's an arcane spell. Here's a decent one.
No,
Instant.
Blind with Anger is instant.
Yeah.
So one of the things about threatens is that instant threaten way more of a threat.
Yeah, they ruin
Because
combat. Yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden, your best attacker is now my best blocker, and all your.
So that's the trick that Active Aggression of Raid Command played. Bloody Betrayal pretty good because it makes a blood. Captivating pretty good because it's a kind of on-rate creature that can repeatedly do it. This is okay. It's instant speed. This is one of the more notable ones. This is probably the last constructed playable threaten. I cast a lot of Claim the Firstborns.
1 mana.
Because of
Yeah. So threatens live with, like, love to live with sacrifice effects. It's like, there are a couple notable limited formats where threatens are very powerful because they have access to, like, strong bits like that to go with them.
effects. Another famous one that hardly counts though.
Yeah.
You get creatures like this that you can like kick to give them
Yeah. God.
this thing.
Yeah, this thing.
I like this one because it's Stephen Colbert.
The art on this one is like, hey, buddy.
Go Nap is fun because anytime you see a card that's like Lorwyn looking, this isn't actually a Lorwyn card, but that references a weird creature type. What it actually means is changeling.
Yep.
So, but it's hijack. What do you think about hijack?
Hijack.
It's better than wall. Where in the Stoke the Flames market is this?
I'm gonna say above wall mulch, below Nevermaker.
That's about where I would put it.
Like, there are some other threatens that have a little bit more heat to them that would go higher up. Like you said, Claim the Firstborn is much more
something like
interesting.
that. With hijack, just a pretty good limited card.
Yeah, you play this, and you're like, yeah, fine. All right, cool.
Okay, we'll do one more, and then I have to fight Ishin again. Our Reckoning. This is a card that works with itself. This card, yeah, it got a reprinting in. This is in the Warhammer set.
Yeah, it's in the Warhammer set, and it's also in some of the Phyrexian Commander set stuff as well.
Is this just in? Yeah, one.
It also,
commander.
yeah, also hangs out. And there was a copy of it in the Fallout decks.
Yeah, because they show the Enclave or whatever. No, this is the Brotherhood of Steel. The evil word in Fallout lore.
The 4.
That is one funny thing about Fallout is that they you can tell what Fallout games the designers for Magic Fallout liked and which ones they were contractually obligated to include. It's like there's like a handful of 76 cards and like a few more Fallout 4 cards, but it's mostly New Vegas, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I'm there for it.
This is Hour of Reckoning. We'll go with the Ravnica City of Guilds version. I feel like this was an era for the really expensive Wrath of God. Because we had like
yeah, we were talking about 5 mana Wrath.
Is it Radiant's Judgment? What's it called?
It's below. You can just there's a did.
Yeah. Did you mean? I did mean Radiant. That's not the one I'm thinking of. There's like a big one. Is it a Chroma's Vengeance?
Well, Chroma's Vengeance is 6. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Big Wrath. We had like era of Big Wrath.
Yeah, our Reckoning is the, like, usually the idea with this is that you actually have a board when you're playing this, so you're not paying 7, you're paying, like...
You're paying, like, 5, and you get to keep your guys.
Yeah, you're tapping all your creatures that would die anyway.
So it's like, oh, come on. Is it Plague Wind?
It's just Plague Wind.
The other ones are winds, but it's just
Final Judgment. Final Judgment is also in that era.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Remove all creatures from the game. So this is an era of the Big Wrath. This card gets to live in Commander, where people love tokens and love wraths.
Mm-hmm. And like Convoke keeps this like, even as like time marches on, like this is still a relevant like costed bit because like Convoke works well with like I'm a.
And how many? You only have to really tap like 3 guys for this to be a reasonable
Wrath.
spell to get.
Yeah.
What do we think of the? We talked about the convoke mechanic a bit more, but this was its first invocation. I think of the original Ravnica keywords, convoke is one of the better ones.
I want to say like this one's closest to a home run. There's a number of cards in the original convoke that are like even to this day still notable.
Yeah, like Port of Calling is in a top modern deck. A Talkthon Worm is in evil decks.
It is. Gather Courage is a card I respect.
Yeah, this is like a 0 mana spell if you're on the defense.
Mm-hmm. And like some of these are like just sort of like funky, big costed creatures.
Siege Worm,
like
always pretty good. Sundering Vitae is a common EDH card.
I think can be free.
It can be free. Overwhelm is missing a line of text that would make it very good. Because
also convoke plus tap all your creatures plus overrun is a very cool combo that doesn't really
excellent combination. You know, that works for Craterhoof Behemoth in a way it doesn't work for Overwhelm, but I guess Craterhoof is a mythic and this is an uncommon.
Yeah.
Scatter the Seeds, very close to a very evil spell.
This one's for good.
This one is for good.
Sprout.
This one is for evil. So this is for evil. This one's for good.
I wanted
evil,
so badly
good.
When they did Time Spiral Remastered. I really would have loved the joke of this at Mythic. I know that like I know that like opening a pack and getting a Mythic Sprout Swarm is like the most feel bad. I get it. But like it would have been very funny for evil to do this.
It would have been funny
in my
for
mind.
evil.
Like it is not a good idea. It's a great idea.
It's a great idea. I think
Sprout Swarm also has like the head crab looking sapling
it's
jumping.
got the head crab saps. We like them.
Yeah.
So what do we think about Hour of Reckoning?
I don't think this has to certainly has to go above Doomscar.
It has to go above Doom. I'm thinking this goes above Urza's Incubator.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's like my like way bottom. I'm just saying like it can't go below.
Yeah,
that. I think. Yeah. I'd say like above Urza's Incubator.
Is it below Grizzly Bears?
Okay.
Also, hello, Burnt Head. We're ranking every Magic card ever printed. We started with Grizzly Bears.
Yeah, Grizzly Bear was the #1 card for a little while, and we're ranking every card. So,
and I'm about to fight Ishin the Sword Saint after this because I have to do that 2 more times.
There's still submissions in the pipe.
I turned that number up because it was his first time. Oh, okay. Let's say Grizzly Bears. We'll say it's below Grizzly Bears.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
So this is and here's actually a way we'll do this. We'll get a bit of a pre on it. You talk about Voldaren Bloodcaster while I fight Ishin the Sword Saint.
Voldaren Bloodcaster.
I'll give you the link because I'm about to go off to other things.
Yeah. So Voldaren Bloodcaster, I am pulling up now on my side.
I'm gonna spare the Wizard Eyes for this time.
Yeah.
You watched me fight Ishin once already.
Yep.
There's a new channel point redeem, Burnt Head, where if you just spend 10,000 points, you can fight Ishin the Sword Saint.
Yep, that's already been hit.
It's already been maxed out.
This one's a fairly nifty one. Blood as a little token is very specific to our Crimson Vow cards, but like the cards that make and use blood, like blood plays really well.
Yeah, blood is like in the clue blood food world.
Unprepared.
I like blood the best, even though it is not as good as the others, really.
Right, like generally it's not going to be as strong as like a clue. food tends to have a deeper well of support from like existing longer. Blood only really has Crimson Vow that it goes off of for.
Yeah, and I think food will appear in more sets than blood will. Blood is kind of flavor baked in with vampires.
Yeah,
whereas everybody eats food.
Yeah, everybody eats food. Treasure can be around in almost anything. Like blood is kind of on like the second tier, I think, of like, you know, those tokens.
Yeah.
Because like food, treasure, clue are like these can just be included everywhere forever style thing. Whereas like blood, you know,
you can't put. You have to have some reason for there to be blood.
But blood plays so well. I'm even like non-blood things. I'm thinking of you know, like Fable plays so well. You know, being able to cycle cards, something that you'll love to do. There's a lot of good payoffs to being able to cycle your card.
Blood was definitely when they started thinking about ways of naturally including blood control.
Yes. But Voldaren Bloodcaster itself has like a blood artist-esque, like, make a blood on a creature death you control. And then, like, if you have a bunch of bloods, you flip and you get to turn blood into bats. That usually, I don't know, like that's not how a lot of the junk shard maps another like second tier one. I would love them to do some more junk stuff than just the Fallout decks. I think junk is also a really like interesting.
I forget what junk does.
Junk is just a impulse play. You get to play the top card of your deck.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Then so like there's a tension to using it, right? Like, do you want to, like, obviously if you're doing that, you might, like, your first thought is like, I want to do this before my land drop, but like, ooh, the backstep.
I'm not streaming the Jin, so he had to watch the variation on delay.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find ways to fit blood in here. Bloodcaster is like a card that's much more like, it wants to go heavier in on having a bunch of blood. It has a like, hey, if you have 5 blood thing on it, but it is also just like
kind of on rate.
Yeah, I was gonna say on rate because it's Vampire Interloper and it can block.
Vampire Interloper can block.
And it also, like, free rolling, creating blood is pretty good. It also has a Dracula. This is one of the like.
Oh, is it one of the? Yeah, it's one of the ones that had actual Draculas.
Yeah, there are actual Draculas in the Crimson Vow stuff. Because Dracula is a public domain.
So is Nosferatu, by the way.
That's true. 26.
Actually, I think Nosferatu has always been public domain because it was.
Yeah. There was okay. You're right.
Because when Nosferatu was made, Dracula wasn't in public domain. It was. It was. They were illegally plagiarizing Dracula.
That's all right.
That's Ishin.
That's Ishin.
But this time, Ishin's getting it.
Bloodcaster is a card I had on the edge of like putting in my cube. I think I would need to shift, like, I would need to shift what black and red and maybe green a little bit are doing a little more to have it in here, because it's not like, it doesn't make blood on just like play, like something like the 1-mana 1/1 or the 2-mana 3/2 that just like make it on come in. like you have to do a little bit more
Yeah,
work to
you
get
have
the
to
blood
do
out of
something
Bloodcaster.
to make blood. It's not completely free like Voldaire and Epicure is.
Yeah, Epic. Yeah. All right, Ishin 2-0.
That's 2 against Ishin. I have one more, but we'll talk about a few more cards first, and then we'll end on
Yeah.
Ishin. Well, Darren Bloodcaster.
It turns blood into bats on the back.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the art.
There's Dracula.
Is it improved by having a Dracula version of it? There's some decent arts for.
I like the alt art there because it has a very cool looking bat on the backside, and also
a bat made out of blood.
much more
Looks like.
also a much more striking red
Yeah.
out of there. Blood indeed.
So it's at the very least better than Vampire Interloper, which isn't on the list.
No.
How are we feeling here? I'm feeling once again like the Hour of Reckoning slot.
Is this better than Grizzly Bear?
I think this is probably better than. Is it better than Recruiter of the Guard? I think no. I think this is just better than Grizzly Bear.
I'm fine with better than Grizzly Bear.
Yeah.
We can put this as number 6.
Number 6. And I'll just name the front half. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Voldaire and Bloodcaster, which is the 6th best card ever made. But this is the best card ever made. Is Disrupting Scepter! we got a rare 7th edition foil.
7th edition foil out of this. All right.
Look at that guy.
It's like, yo.
I don't want that.
Hey, whoa, hey. Like, they're even putting their hands up like, whoa, come on now. Like,
Disrupting Scepter is an old artifact, so it has Dan
opponent must
Fraser
discard
art.
one card of his or her choice.
Can only be used during your turn.
You've got the non-binary defense. you like that's a classics of defense. Like, sorry, no, thank you. I will choose not to discard on this one.
I'll choose not to discard.
They passed right over that keeping that 7th edition art though. Didn't
Yeah, they did.
The 6th and 7th.
There's a lot of 7th edition art that became very iconic, but like the page being like, this is the Eastern Paladin, I think, or is that the Western Paladin? Not you. Okay, it's the Western Paladin.
Why Western? Yeah, the paladins were like with our spiky pauldrons
and
there.
they're all missing an eye.
Yes.
But that's who's in this. He's disrupting that page. But we'll look at what's the most.
But yeah,
this is probably the most legible Disrupting Scepter, so we'll go with this one. Even though it's a little blurry. This is a classics. There's definitely better ways to do this effect. This guy comes to mind.
give me go pull up Tiny Bones.
Tiny Bones. Is there a tiny? Yeah.
Yeah, the Foundation's Tiny Bones is a Disrupting Scepter.
Yeah, 4 tap discard, and it's whenever it has because it's a new card, it has all this shit on it.
And you get to steal what you.
Yeah, there's
a lot of text to say you steal what you.
Yeah, it's a lot of text to say you steal what you discard. But this is Disrupting Scepter.
Yeah. One of the most classics of cards. There are, as we've seen with Tiny Bones, and I could, Scepter of Fugue. Would be another.
Yeah, this is one of the Esper artifacts that were recreations of other artifacts. Like there was
I'm a god.
Yeah, so like there's a cycle of these that are the common ones that are like common spells, and then there's the ones that are like scepters and ones like Icy Manipulator.
Mm-hmm. They're copying. What is this guy doing to this guy? Is he gonna fucking bonk him with his hashtag Catholic Gaming? What's the thing that at Mass where they have the burning aromatics in the perfumes? Kind of looks like that, only on the end of a mace. Hashtag Catholic Gaming. Censor, yeah. Was disrupting censor, which is a different card.
Yeah, this was the deck.
Yeah, the deck. The deck. The deck called the deck.
So there's a deck in Magic called the deck, and this is like the control deck. This is God, this is incredible to look at. This is a deck that wins through running your opponent out of resources.
Is your is your literal win con to kill yourself with City of Brass, and then as you have 0 life, activate Mirror Universe?
That's something you can do, but I think the Sarah Angels are the more likely. Because
did I miss the fact that there's Sarah Angels in this?
There's 2 creatures down at the bottom.
Oh, here they are. 2 Sarah Angels.
2 Sarah Angels.
And a moat. It's a moat.
So, like, this is just, I am going to run you out of cards 1 for 1. I'm going to hit you with, like, Amnesia.
And you can bring guys with them out.
You even have Recall, which is, or just Regrowth. Yeah, this is, like, this is a masterclass in, like, the first deck building, right? This is our, like, and Disrupting Scepter is a key element in winning the value game that this makes.
When was Sly? It
Uh,
was a little bit after. Like,
yeah,
I was trying to think of, like, early deck building thoughts. Like,
yes.
The deck was before the concept of a monocurve. That's kind of what Sly did. But
yeah.
Disrupting Scepter, the part of this that makes sure you don't lose, you make them use cards so that your card advantage does something. Your JMD tome becomes better when you have a Disrupting Scepter.
Mm-hmm.
And because you have all these Mox and Black Lotus, so you can actually freaking use them.
Get to that, because you can pay for it off your Soul Ring. But yeah, this is a card that we have a lot of, as I've said, Scepter Fugue, Nezumi Short Fang.
What a fool.
We get it on creatures, we get it on...
I can do it too. Yeah, it is to be Short Fang. Which frequently you didn't want to flip, because it was just... Because Stab Whiskers was just like a... It's just like a rack.
Yeah, the fun thing about Short Fang is that it's instant speed, so you could bop them on draw step, but then you'd give up your Short Fang. That's why Disrupting Scepter's... Whoa!
Disrupting Scepter.
Right.
Old cool card, very excellent. I think it's the first card we've gotten to that is contemporary with Grizzly Bears. These are the OGs.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to put Disrupting Scepter at Uno again. It probably belongs like here-ish.
In the sense of, like, one of the things that, like I said, when I was talking about, like, Grizzly Bear and Glacial Fortress and such, being a defining card gets you a lot of points in my mind.
This is a definitional card. Things are a Disrupting Scepter.
Yeah. Is it better than Slaughter Pack?
Ugh, how'd you make me question that? I don't think so.
Right? Like,
is it better than Glacial Fortress? It's definitely better than Omnivorous Flight Trap.
Yeah.
Is it better than Glacial Fortress? Yeah, we talked the Tiny Bones. Yeah, it's cost shifted. Tiny Bones has to be cheap, so they moved that cost down to the activation.
Yeah, 2 and 4 instead of 3 and 3, and of course, the additional text.
Should we just call it 3?
Let's call it 3. I think if I'm wavering too much on it, it probably isn't.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, like, 2 definitional, 2, like, and You know, like it's next to JMD Tome in
Now, don't say
in
that
what it
because
does.
I don't want to put JM Daytona
No,
up here.
No, I mean, sorry. In like defining cards.
Yeah, you're right. It's literally next to JM Daytona.
It's there. It's right there.
So Disrupting Scepter, third best card ever printed. This is the best card ever printed, though. It's Path of Peril.
Oh, hi.
Forgotten Crimson Vow keywords. Wasn't this
Please.
graveyard ability from Forgotten Realms?
So, okay, no. Actually, the story of Cleave is that Crimson Vow was like being built out. It has blood, it has vampires, transformation. And as they were building out their keywords, they wanted a spell keyword. That was something they were missing.
Yeah, they didn't have a spell keyword.
And what they did is they looked at a forward file for New Capenna.
Oh.
And in New this is one of the things I'm saddest about because the idea here is so much cooler. In New Capenna, Cleave, the idea was this was like the lawyers, the brokers, that they were line item vetoing on the card.
they were altering the contract. Pray we do not alter it further. That kind of thing. That's funny. Connive is like a pretty good keyword. We've got some good connive cards. This guy used to be king of the crop.
Yeah, Ledger Shredder, the Esper legend that like connives 1 million.
Yeah, Raffine.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a New Capenna keyword. It was going to be what became the brokers. I think was the idea. And I think that like as like a lawyer altering a contract, the flavor is way stronger.
They just like vampires for some reason.
Yeah, in Crimson Vow, this is nothing.
There's a lot of problems with Crimson Vow, and this is certainly one of them.
Yeah, Cleave is also like really. You pay more to do less. Like there's a weirdness to that.
Yeah.
It also has like
in that way it's kind of the inverse kicker.
Yeah.
They invented a kicker
that's
opposite kicker.
Hit this on a different language.
Ooh.
Like
what's one I can sort of understand.
Okay, it's not too bad.
Creaturen mit meiner Betrag to oder vinegar. But Italiano.
Yeah, like Italiano.
Ooh, how about Japanese?
Yeah, so that one has it in the front.
Has it in the front.
There's a bit like there's a bit more wiggliness to it where like you can't do that one's a little funkier.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do like you can't do like target island and then take off is to make it target land because that doesn't work in translation.
It doesn't work and Magic is a global game. There's a huge two big ones. There's a huge amount of Japanese players and
Japan is funny because in Japan the game is fighting for its life at all times in the sense that like the Japanese CCG market is a much broader market.
There's it's like in America you kind of have like 2 and maybe 1/10 card games. Like you have Path of Peril, not Path of Peril. You have Magic the Gathering with Path of Peril. You have Pokemon, and then you have some very weird people playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Those are still the big three.
Those are still the big three.
And there are a number of others that live below those big three, but they're not like
they're fighting for table scraps.
Yeah, whereas like in the Japanese market, like Magic, I don't think Magic is working to keep its top 10 slot on a lot of times.
But another one is this Portuguese. Brazil has a ton of Magic play.
Yeah,
you see a lot of
Didn't they drop Portuguese on?
Let's try. I guess
Dog Walker. Fly. Yeah, they dropped.
They dropped Portuguese. That's unfortunate because Brazil has a lot of Magic
Right.
players.
Well, I was gonna say
We have some world champions who are Brazilian. A ton of Brazilians play Magic Online because if you play a lot of Moto and you grind leagues and you do reasonably well, you can sell the chests or open the chests and sell the cards you get from it and make an amount of money. And if you do that as your job, because of exchange rates, in some places you can make an okay living doing it. So there's a lot of Brazilian grinders.
That was the thing for quite some time. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Cleave doesn't.
Like, this card is better than Doomscar because this card has seen constructed play. This was a card you would play in Modern.
Doomscar.
This is a card you would play in Modern as a sideboard against, like, Energy.
Oh, like just because that 2 mana or less value.
If you were playing a deck like this that is mono black, you just needed a way to kill all their creatures, and this was the most. Because before this, your chance for 3 mana black rats was.
Oh,
Last Reckoning.
No.
And recently you got a better one,
Yeah.
but Toxic Deluge has this line of text, which might not be very good against a deck playing Lightning Bolt. So Path of Peril fulfills a niche, but I don't think anybody's ever cleaved it.
I don't know. This is... I like the idea of the card of, like, small wrath, big wrath. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. Could this have been 5 mana? Because this had been Crimson Vow's 5 mana wrath, just hide it in Path of Peril. That was still the era we were in.
This is probably like...
Is this better than Doomscar to you? It's like, it's around Wall of Mulch. Is it better than Wall of Mulch?
In my mind, I don't think it's better than Doomscar. I don't know. Like I said, I know I'm higher on. I know I'm personally higher on
I
Doomscar.
trust you on that. I trust you on. I know it's around Doomscar.
You want to like? I'm fine with it being on either side of Doomscar. I don't know.
You know what's better than Doomscar though?
Yeah.
Sword of the Meek.
You ain't lying.
Oh, we ain't lying. Although, okay, Sword of the Meek on its own, pretty weak.
Sword of the Meek on its own is a like every single card in Time Spiral.
Yeah.
Every single card in Time Spiral is a reference to like a bunch of things, but Sword of the Meek is we have specifically a Pendelhaven.
Pendelhaven. Oh no, I'm Sword of the Chosen I'm thinking of is Krovak's the Ascendant Hero is using the Sword of the Chosen. Because on this timeline he was chosen instead.
Okay.
But
yeah, Pendelhaven also I think has like 3 or 4 different references. Yeah, there's Pendelhaven and Elder. But yeah, Pendelhaven is a land that, 1/1 gets +1/+2, which is a cool land because it's like stronger than a forest in.
Yeah, it's a legendary land with no downside. The only downside is it's legendary. If you're playing like a green commander deck, there's no reason that you shouldn't play exactly one of these.
Yeah, unless you've got like reason you want forest as a count. That's your sort of thing.
Yeah. Also, a fun thing about this is that in this time shifted printing of it, it's one of the few Magic cards that reference like real humans.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened a lot more in older Magic.
Yeah, because here in Legends, it was Longfellow.
Yep.
But Sword of the Meek, it kind of does the Meek inherit the earth thing. It does the creature gets +1, gets holy strength on one creature. Yep. There's lots of things you can do with this. Sword of the Meek loves to get sacrificed. What's his name? Yeah, Urza Lord High Artificer. For a long time, Thopter Sword was just a thing where you would just pay a mana, make a 1/1 gain a life. And
And
that
this
was
was
good
that was
enough
good
on
enough.
its own.
That was good enough to win like
Most games.
this was a combo powerful enough that you're like, yeah, I can bring this to my like extended modern like whatever event where
It's definitely
like,
an
this-
extended deck, yeah.
Yeah.
But then Urza was like, what if you could, instead of making as many of you had mana for, you just made infinite ones. You just made infinite of them. Because you can tap the sword each time it comes back to...
yes. For one, and
You go up
actually-
on mana because you can tap the Thopters, and then you can spin Urza. He is his own mana sink.
yes,
You cast
you're
your deck.
infinite. You're super infinite with
Yeah,
this.
so infinite power, infinite life, and you cast your deck. So Sword of the Meek, great card. You don't have to work that hard for it. Anytime you have like artifact sack themes, like Goblin Engineer or the OG,
Yeah, howdy.
you can have reasons to include Sword of the Meek. Sword of the Meek is dope.
Yep. Also, I like the art choice for this, where we have this very the white partner. For the original here, where we have the like sword in the like forge sort of thing, and we have the like two dark waves.
Yeah,
Kind of on the sides.
it's cutting
cool
through the
art.
darkness.
Yeah.
It's also it evokes the old Mox art style, like what's his name? We saw him earlier with Disrupting Scepter. It's evoking that without like exactly copying it. And then of course there's the blueprint versions that we got in Brothers War. I think this is pronounced Sinkadia. It's a style of short sword or dagger.
Oh, okay.
It's very cool. What do we think? Oh, I like this too. It's got the graveyard.
It's got the
graveyard symbol.
that's
Old cards used to have the graveyard symbol up here to let you know this is a card for your graveyard.
I love the little tombstone. We only do it on older cards, but like this was like flashback, and also like you pull up Old Anger. I think it has the
Yep, Anger's
yeah,
got it.
yeah,
The baby
like,
Anger.
Yeah, but, like this is here to like this is important for like very quick readability, where it's like the hey, let me scan your graveyard for like what could possibly be active.
Another Spirit didn't have it.
Yeah, it predates. We didn't start doing that until Odyssey with flashback, which is why we have it on Anger and Judgment. Sword of the Meek.
Sword of the Meek. What do you think about Sword of the Meek? Sword of the Meek is pretty dope.
It's pretty good. I'm
It's up here.
Yeah, I'm liking where Sword of the Meek lives. Is it better than Disrupting Scepter?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know if it's better than Slaughter Pact though.
No, I think we're back dancing around Glacial Fortress again.
You know what I'm gonna? I think it's better than Glacial Fortress.
All right, let's do it.
Because it's cool. It's cooler.
It is friend of Glacial Fortress sometimes.
It is they are friends, but Sword of the Meek is cooler than Glacial Fortress, even though it, on the whole, maybe it's less powerful, except for the fact that it wins you the game when you have it in play. Okay, one more, and then I'll fight Ishin again. Ooh, this is a guy that means a lot to us.
This is a perfect cap for this because we're back to a Grizzly Bear.
We're back to a Grizzly Bear. Has my mic been clipping? Well, then my desktop's been clipping. Oh, I'm just gonna turn the desktop audio down a little bit.
Okay. But no, we've come back like kind of full circle on our cards. We've got a
We start with a Grizzly Bear, and we're going to end with a Grizzly Bear.
Grizzly Bear.
And this Grizzly Bear isn't that much different from Grizzly Bear, but still a lot better.
So much better. So like, this is sometimes this is a 1-mana creature. Sometimes this is a ramp spell to get you to a 4. Sometimes this is two bodies, and you're happy with that. Sometimes this is the way that you build your
It's
way
like
up,
that and
up to the Crusher. Yep. Turn 2 Nest Invader into turn 3 Causal X Predator.
yep, that's what you did. That was the
Yeah.
these are back when Eldrazi were cool.
Yeah, like especially because I love that because that play is Grizzly Bear and a Hill Giant at its like core, and like, yeah, all right, I'm there.
We were there, and this card still gets played in Pauper. There are some green stompy decks that play Nest Invader. It's kind of been a little bit. There's the 3-mana one from Modern Horizons. That's a 3-mana 3/3 that makes one.
Yeah. The name is completely gone. I know we
Eldrazi Repurposer.
repurposer.
Because
Yeah.
you get a 1/1 when you cast it, and you get a 1/1 when it dies. But Nest Invader is still a 2-drop. So
Yes.
this card still has stuff you can do with it in Pauper.
I also really like how clean this is.
Yeah, this
it's
was
one effect.
it was kind of like a 1-mana 2/2, and that is still like not a common thing. We love Nest
Yeah.
Invader here. Plus, Rise of the Eldrazi all-time limited format has some of the
Yep.
stupidest bullshit in it ever.
Yep.
Fie to you, Dongler Invoker! But we're here to cast good, honest Ulamog's Crushers
Yeah.
and not Threads of Disloyalty. What was it? It's the little mind control from that format. Was it Domestication?
Domestication, yes.
Yeah, that's how you deal with a Dongler Invoker, because you domesticate it.
Mine.
Rise of the
But yeah.
Eldrazi all-timer format. This was one of the premier commons from it.
Very wild format. Like, very few formats, if any, play like Rise, where there's like, all right, you think you're doing the normal thing? No.
We all have 8-mana spells in our deck. It's often multiple. Like, everybody has at least one. Like, when you were drafting, you were keeping your eyes open. You wanted at least one dragon. Like, sometimes it was that stupid demon that was terrible. Or
God.
or that angel. But usually it was, you were happy if it was Ulamog's Crusher, and you were sad if it was Pathrazor of Ulamog.
Pathrazor. You didn't want to be Pathrazor. The difference between 8 and 11 is 1 million.
Yeah. What was the other one? There was like a 7-mana one that was only Annihilator 1.
Hand.
Hand of Ulamog.
Emrakul.
Emrakul. Yeah. Even that was 9.
Well, you cast this one for.
Yeah.
You cast this one for.
It's only Annihilator 1, which was. Ulamog's Crusher was Annihilator 2.
Yes.
That card ruled. It gets to attack each combatant Fable.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, wow,
you're gonna block?
They put this in one of the like commander decks. That's great.
Ugly Ultimate Masters are, but
Oh.
even we still love him, even though he's
Yeah.
bad. The pose on the original is just so striking. And again,
Right.
on the horizons near the bottom, it's interesting.
Like you're looking up at this like incredible monstrosity that's hard to parse.
And you're able to cast them because of Nest Invader.
Thank you, Nest Invader. Does Nest Invader only have one art? I think Nest Invader.
Yeah, I
only
think
has
Nest
one art.
Invader only has one art.
Yeah, there's
It's like
only one
it's
Nest Invader.
this guy. It's not Grizzly Bears. Come on.
No. I mean,
Not Grizzly Bears. That could have more than one art. Where's the Nest Invader go? I'm thinking it's better than Recruiter as a card, but not as good as Rada.
I was gonna say I was looking around Rada, like below Omnivorous Flytrap, above Recruiter.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
that's,
it's better than.
that's
I'm gonna say
exactly
better
where I
than
think it. Oh, you think it's better than Rada? I think Rada's better. They're both.
Okay, you know what? No, I say that aloud, and I actually go, "That's not right."
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that sounds right. So that's 20 cards for us. How many more could there be?
Like
Like 50?
10,000.
Like add some zero.
Okay, so as of this moment, as of this ranking, Slaughter Pact is the best card ever made. And the worst card ever made is Titania's Boon. I don't blame you if you don't know what that card does, if you forgot.
Not gonna lie. Titania's Boon, I think might take some work to find something below that.
I mean, I can already think of some. I mean,
sure, but like
we have the is Ogre in the chat? I'll put this one just for him. This used to be a joke for us back in the day. You can go worse than Titania's Boon.
Chip.
I'll write all the letters you want. Yeah, they might print cards faster than we do them. We have to increase our efforts.
You know, even like, so obviously these days, like, we kind of beat 20 a week. I think if we were in, like, 2005, we were losing on 20 a week. Like, we're close. Like, Morning Tide was 150, so it takes us 8 weeks to get through that. We're beating Morning Tide.
Yeah, we'll beat it. How many times will Lucian die before you finish? One more time. We'll switch over back to fighting Ishin. And then we'll probably call it a stream.
That sounds good.
It's been a successful. I was a little worried about how this stream would go because, I didn't know how we would react. I didn't know how the audience would react.
This is good. I'm happy that like starting on Grizzly Bear led us immediately to me talking about Battle of Wits. Like,
yeah. That's. I knew that. I am prepared. I knew we would be able to do that. I just didn't know how well it would go over. And I'm glad to say, okay, Sekiro is loud when I launch it. One more for the road. We're gonna fight Sekiro while we contemplate magic cards, because I know we've definitely done this a lot ourselves, just like remembering magic cards. For now, this is going to be a one-off thing. We're going to be back to Dwarf Fortress next Thursday.
Yeah, we'll find times where it'll just be like a good time to talk about every magic card and rank them.
Yeah, because we will rank every magic card.
We'll get there.
We'll get there eventually. We can start placing bets for what number 1 is going to end up being.
Oh boy. So I don't think Slaughter Pact is keeping it.
Yeah, Slaughter Pact. I mean, who knows?
Who knows? It's there.
We don't know
right
what the future holds. Except I know Ancestral Recall will eventually come up if we keep doing it.
How long until you get to Lightning Bolt?
That'll be a complex one.
How do we Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the fish out there.
Now we do have totemic cards like.
Yeah, there are certain cards that just have like. Okay.
I mean, I do frequently die against Ishin.
Our criteria up front was like. To me, it's like more of a impact statement, combined with like the vibes are good, the vibes are neutral, the vibes are bad. So Grizzly Bears, in my mind, stays up there because even to this day, a 2/2 for 2, no matter what the text is still called a Grizzly Bear. It holds a title, and then Glacial Fortress also like when we got to Glacial Fortress, we mentioned, like, at least I said, like, Glacial Fortress goes number 1 for me. I wouldn't put Dragon Skull Summit here, because those two are differently vibed cards.
Yeah, poor although Dragon Skull Summit was unique in that it was a red-black duel that didn't suck.
Yeah, not to throw, like, Dragon Skull Summit is fine. It's just that I think of specifically Glacial Fortress with regard to that cycle.
How did I live through that?
I thought you were taking the death there, but you made it. That's also why Disrupting Scepter, I think, is one that stands up as well, because it has a line leading through the game of Magic that you can follow. And Titania's Boon doesn't have a line through that.
Yeah, Titania's Boon has a line through its name because it should have been eradicated from the set.
Yeah.
They should have just made a vanilla creature.
They already had like 6 of those, and they're like, oh, we can't do that.
You could do another one. Make it a 3-mana 3/2. Although that might have to have Echo at the time.
3/3 with regen, or the apes got.
Yeah, the fucking Flash Apes.
Yeah, 3/4.
Yeah, 3/4 Flash Echo. So the fight goes longer if I'm not able to get in some Mortal Blade combat arts early. Bullets. And then, the sweep.
Oh, okay.
The
And you
sweep
get
is
back
an uncommon, but not a rare issue.
Okay.
Can I get the double?
I like that we have the uncommon and rare issues.
You start to get a feel for the different issues because you see a lot of them a lot. When you enter the Ishin Combat Dome. Yep.
Okay.
Walked into that one. Now he's probably... There's a rare Ishin. A follow-up to his jump attack. His heal punish in Phase 3 is frequently that, so I wasn't expecting the jump.
There's a thing that Ishin's done that you've only seen once. Ah, the Mythic Ishin.
Yeah, there are Mythic Ishins.
Okay.
Am I gonna posture kill him? Usually you...
Rather than just, I would say HP kill, because the lightning does
usually the lightning reversal.
a quarter? Oh yeah, this will probably posture kill right here.
There we go. And the camera's going to get weird because he's right up against the wall.
Alright, that's 3-0 Ishins.
3-0 Ishins.
And there's the camera getting weird.
I even killed him close to the save point so that it will not take long for me to leave the fight.
This is the speed run. Yeah.
I don't actually cut his head off. Would have been too hard to model. There we go. 3-0 against Ishin. That one got a bit hairy, though.
You made it through, but that shows off that, like, yeah, you could...
This is the results of my training. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Miyoger and Burnthead did a race of double hard mode in Charles's Discord. And I was winning. I had a fairly wide margin. I got to Ishin and then did not finish.
Oh,
so then I legit surged myself.
Okay.
Do you remember our Pokemon races? And then I put myself in the Ishin training chamber, and now I trioed Ishin. So that's going to be it for now. Thanks for joining, Slio. It's always
Yeah,
a
of
pleasure
course.
having you around. I know we love talking
Glad
about
to-
cards.
Glad to be here. Do you have a schedule to throw up?
I do have a schedule. We can go over schedule. We have new channel point redemptions along with our new emotes that I remember to use.
Okay, you're not returning to Mythic Heroes.
Yeah, I don't think we're returning to Mystic Heroes for the
Mystic
grudge
Heroes,
match.
yeah.
I decided on Eternal Ring instead.
Okay. Watching Mystic Heroes was fascinating. Yeah.
But today we're doing the Grizzly stream. Tomorrow we're doing FF6 with Kaz. Then on Sunday it's going to be Eternal Ring, which is a forgotten FromSoft game. And I haven't decided on what the game roundup is going to be. It might be Nine Souls with Churls. She expressed some interest in that. Because that is a game I own that I have not launched. And that's what the Grummy Game Roundup is, where I play a game that I own but have not launched. And eventually, once I've tried enough of them, the game I like and want to stream will become the Sunday stream. But for now, the grudge match is going to be against Eternal Ring. But that's going to be it for now. Anybody else streaming?
Cuban?
Nothing. It seems like
There's-
most people are on to, or it's like GDQ, so people are doing that instead.
Yeah, most I see is Ryan doing cubing.
Oh, is Ryan? Am I not following Ryan on Twitch?
Well, you're probably following Ryan, but the Thursday
Oh,
cube
we will be
streams are on-
cubing. Yeah, we will be cubing. Yeah. We'll definitely go over there
Yes.
then.
Ooh, it's the one bird, which
But
is
they're doing the
every
one bird.
card. Every card is a 1-mana card, which is like Ryan does a lot of wild cube building. The
Yeah,
one
he's-
bird is fascinating to me.
He's definitely a cube smith. But that's going to be it for now. We're going to toss that over to They Will Be Cubing. Thanks for joining, gents.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We might do this again. We might not. I still thought of this as a pickup stream, but that's going to be it for now. Good night, everybody.